we're not in the first inning here, but we're certainly not in the bottom of the ninth. Mariano Rivera hasn't stepped on the mound here. You know, when he does, then we can start worrying about catastrophe. I love Mariano Rivera, by the way. Yeah, I could have said some recent person to signify it was the ninth inning, but I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'll just keep it real.
Yeah, sorry guys, I was just looking because we just hopped in a little bit of IBIT here off of these support levels to see if we can get somewhat of a bounce. So shout out to IBIT. I believe this is going to be our second. Did we trade this thing today? Yeah, we tried a short on it earlier here today. But I mean, there's a couple of things aligning here for me to take this. You're at the support level. You have this volume uptick and that nice indecision print on both of the time frames that I'm looking at, respectively the 5 and the 1. So let's see if this can go nice support level breach, liquidity absorption, and then maybe we can climb. But there goes Tesla not being able to hold up there, guys, as it's coming right back into VWAP. But downtrend, right? So I am counter trend trading on this one. If it breaks through some of the support levels, we have to be prepared to get out of that one. But yeah, let's go. Let's see if we can get some rocking and rolling here on IBIT. You guys know what time it is. It is now 2 o'clock, 2:01 to be precise. I hope everyone had a fantastic one. Jeremy LaBoo-Boo, we have MF Dangerous in the chat. Mike Peter Ryder, see you later. We have Jody Uzida, what's up, Jody? Tony Zita, and Factory Geometry, that is. What's going on with Tesla, asks Ronan. I'm not sure if I knew the answer. I'd figure it out and I try to correct it, but yeah, it's just chopping around here, guys. See you later, Oral Blaster. Have a good one, Electric Passions. I hope everyone has a fantastic Wednesday, and hopefully the weather is great where you are. Thank you, Sia. Thank you, Adara. Thank you, everyone who has participated on this wonderful midday show. Catch you guys later.
You have Meta in the money now, $4 right now. Let's. I already got my mic.
That'll help. Let's go to the desk with Adara.
Breaking news, guys, on META pushing higher after launching, according to TechCrunch, subscriptions for Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Once again, TechCrunch reporting that META has launched Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp subscriptions. We went from around 609 all the way up to 614 for META. Back to you.
Is this finally the 600 bottom for Meta? It's easily seeming like it. Somebody's been supporting this sucker in the 600 level, and let it be boring, because when you get boring for too long, you become value, and when you are value, then have a chance to break out. The crazy thing about this is I've only bought this once this year, and it was more or less here. It just hasn't done anything. It's done absolutely nothing with this. Like, it's crazy. This 600 to 605, 610 level.
Yeah, there we go, man. We are now $5 as we were talking about. I didn't even have my mic on, too busy trading over here. But there it goes, man. 615. I mean, that was a good. We bought it. We bought off that 610 level there. It was the sort of the lows that we were looking for. We sat down. We did this a long time ago. Now, okay, now it's finally popping in. And I didn't even hear the story. So 612, 616, 616.50. Here we go, man. We are now really starting to rip up. Here it goes again, man. This is now an $8 winner now for Meta, and going. Wow, what a name there. Meta launches Instagram subscription process right here. So let's go. Let's see how far we can climb now with Meta, man. Bank error in your favor, as there goes Meta. We're just buying it off those lows.
Did they say how much?
I don't know. There it is.
It does not say how much. It's still a report. They also might roll out more AI-related subscriptions later.
Wow, okay. Meta abs. Look at this. Now we are now almost $10 in the money on Meta, and it's now $10 in the money, and it is going. So, okay, let's go over to Neil. We'll deal with some business, and then we'll talk about some trading. Wow.
Well, there's an update out of Origenics in addition to Meta. Maybe they're not going to be monetizing Instagram, but they are activating their Phase 2A clinical trial in Australia, with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Origenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. I want to shout out to them. You're now 200, you're above the 50-period moving average. This finally makes it close above. I think this is an ad on Meta. I got the last of my WonderFi money today. So that's all completely gone. So I have to deploy a bunch. and Meta looks about as good as any. I don't think we're going to get some of the dip buys yet in CVX, but no, you close above the 50-period moving average on this, I don't see why not. It just kind of needed an excuse, I think. And remember, Meta falls into this category when SpaceX comes out. When SpaceX comes out and they see the valuation, everyone's going to look at Meta and Apple and Alphabet and Amazon and realize how good a value they are relatively. So even if they sell off as money needs to go into SpaceX, I think that's just going to bode well for all four of those names. Maybe more so Amazon because it's more of a direct competitor. It's probably the closest direct comparison, I guess, if you think they're going to merge. But no, Meta, I think Meta's going to get that benefit too because comparisons matter. Money can only go to so many places.
Yeah, taking another piece there. We still have 40% on for this trade, so we'll just sit here and watch this keep going higher. And then honestly, we did a great rebuy here as well on the TQQs. I mean, these have been great sort of levels to pick on here for the Nasdaq 100 as well into these daily lows. We do unfortunately have, once again, one of the worst stops right there, literally at the bottom of Marvell. If we had just not gotten stopped out or traded without a stop, which we're never going to do, then we probably would be positive on Marvell, but we are not right now, as that just bled all day. We'll wait to see what Marvell wants to do. I'm excited for this trade on Meta, obviously going into Instagram subscription, Facebook subscription, WhatsApp subscription. So that's going to be a big problem for many people here as they're looking to charge again for Instagram. And I mean, it's about time, right? I think we were all waiting for something like, something waiting like this, for something like this to come through for Instagram, and there it goes, man. Meta definitely making that. So yeah, buddy, we are very, very happy with the performance here so far on this particular play. So yeah, a little bit of money coming in back into the portfolio here. So let's go Meta, see if we can back to the upside. We just got a fill. No, we didn't. Our best fill was 19s. I'm still waiting above 20 for this fill. It actually just went to 21 again. We got to put an offer up there, 620 50s. We'll put, put it on for 10% of what we have left. Rumble, okay, we can look at some Rumble again. Okay,
that just broke the high of the day.
Well, again, I mean, maybe it's just the subscription model thing that's starting to kick out.
Maybe. I mean, Snapchat was getting like a small move to the upside. It could just be a little bit of that. Okay, here we go. Actually, Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO, posts, Rumble is so much more than just a video program. Middle of June, we would begin on the trek to compete with the world's largest hyperscalers with a primary focus to dominate AI compute as a service, all built with an ethos that will put freedom and privacy first. So that was midday on Rumble. I don't really see anything else today on it, why it would be going. I think you can make the argument you're getting some sympathy. The market's bouncing higher here. I think Snap might be wouldn't Snap make more sense for a sympathy move to the upside? Here, I think
Snapchat's a good one. Snapchat has a lot of daily active users.
But I'm sort of thinking if you're getting a news spike to the upside, then Snap becomes a fade more than anything. Like a fade off the highs, right? Like the story is in Meta here. Right? Snapchat's like the ugly stepchild. So I think a fade off the highs on this sympathy play makes more sense than trying to maybe fade into Meta. But it's not even getting to the highs, Snapchat. For some reason, Rumble's going to look strong. We did get, I see Umain in the chat, anyone on CRM earnings? Well, they're not out yet. So you're not really, we'll see what happens with CRM.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so bad it's probably good. I mean, we've seen, look at NVIDIA, one of the greatest reports, honestly, of all time, and they come out and go down after that report, and now is lower, couple of dollars lower than where it was.
But then look at Zscaler, man. Like you could have made the same argument to a
that's the problem with software
for Zscaler. Like if you're in the software space,
well, Zscaler must have missed somewhere. Meta, I mean, Amazon didn't miss.
They're shooting first, man, and
NVIDIA.
Yeah, and I think with CRM, if they find something they don't like, the bid's not there if people start selling. That's the problem. It's just there is no bid right now on the way down. So you're getting a good, like the IGV I said it had an impressive session in the morning. When the market was at the lows, the IGV was at the highs. That was true. CRM gave everything back. Every single penny that Salesforce has, it gave back. Going into earnings. The IGV pulled back too, but I mean, not that bad. So I think CRM is still penalty box until proven otherwise. Like I don't think that's a gamble stock going into, well, I mean, I don't think anybody's trying to gamble. Is anyone trying to gamble on CRM? going into earnings? Because is anyone bottom picking this going into earnings, or are you just waiting for the trend to break and join it when it does? There's better software names bouncing than Salesforce. Like it's well, that's not split adjusted. There we go. Like ServiceNow, at least you're getting ServiceNow holding 100, holding the 50 period, making some higher lows. I don't know. If you put a gun to my head, I know which one I would pick, but it ain't Salesforce.
No, Salesforce is, I mean, there's a lot of competition out there for the Salesforce brand and for, you know, again, a talk of Claude and what exactly that means and how hard is it to set up your own customer relations management software, right? It's not that, it's like literally CRM, what they're talking about. I'm going to take advantage of this move up and just take some more out here at 81.30. I mean, this is now starting to get into a very good position as well now with the TQQs. So again, it all goes back to, damn you, Micron, right there as well. That had a nice move back up almost into VWAP. I mean, some of these plays today at this VWAP level have been pretty spicy, man, including what we just saw there. Excuse me, with Meta, with NVIDIA and everything going buck wild. I saw it in the preseason, in the midday show there, that a lot of people talking about SMCI. SMCI's had quite a huge move, man. I mean, I honestly...
It was massive.
Yeah, well, yeah, yesterday. I mean, this has been a massive week for them. They were $30 up to 37. Yesterday, they go from 36 to 38 or so, 37.50. And then, yeah, there's that break on the daily yesterday, as Neil's referencing. Nice move to the upside there, taking out the 200. And, you know, as soon as people call something dead is when you got to get in there. So SMCI there makes a move down. And then, you know, they're still part of the ecosystem. So that's a nice move there for SMCI. And we'll see if that can get going here into the close, the last couple hours of the day. Again, ahead of that Marvell report. So we're going to wait to see what that can come up with here. I'm going to just try to let Meta sort of figure this out. Well, okay, that's a nice move higher. I'm going to get out of piece at 28 if we can offer that rate. I just put offer enter and went to 16.28. So let's see if we do get a move higher there. Finally, I mean, Meta looking, oh man, maybe see, don't hit offer all the time. Let's go to 60s now. You know, Meta finally looking to monetize now, right? So after all this money, there we go. We get a 60 fill and then it goes right to 90s. We're still sitting where we're sitting. You know, trying to monetize finally. You know, we saw avocado, mango, all these crazy things, llama. They started with some coins as well. They've thrown a lot of projects, you know, at AI and at monetization. So it would be nice for them to finally put out an Instagram subscription. And I think that, you know, I don't want to throw out a price. I have no idea. $20 a month, something like that, and you don't see all the ridiculous reels and ads that you don't sign up for. Maybe something like that could.
Everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, and so I don't think, and I think that there's an appetite for that, right? I think there's a lot of people are waiting for. We hear from Sharif, who uses Facebook and all these things. I mean, I'm on Instagram all the time, and it's just a matter of like there are too many ads, you know. But what is too many? You're paying for a service right now. They're collecting your data. I get all that, but for right now, it's like we've already sort of given that up. You know, most of the data that is being collected, we've sort of said yes to in this marketplace now. And I
think we've seen an environment where people are willing to, willing to pay in certain places to make sure that they're not seeing it.
What the hell was even that?
We've seen it with Prime, right? Like you've seen it. I finally made whatever.
There's gonna be two versions.
I still watch them with Prime. There's gonna be two versions like everything else. Like I love YouTube Premium. Not everybody does, but I can't. I mean, I don't live without it anymore. It's like you get it and you're like, oh, this is a better world. And sometimes some of it was peace of mind. And you know the reason I got YouTube Premium? We had I think it was a provincial elections here. And my daughter's on YouTube all the time.
Yep, yeah, you're telling me.
And I'm telling you, like all of the, like she watches, you know, like the Salish and whatever. Like, she watches kids stuff, man.
So do my kids.
EY stream. Like she's looking at kid stuff. And she was getting inundated with these heavily political ads all the time to the point where she just brings something. I'm like, where did you hear this? And he's like, oh, I was watching YouTube. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, no. I'm like, we're getting YouTube Premium now. Like right away. Like that's just, first of all, like figure it out. Like you can't like tailor the ads. Like why does, like on a kid's streaming thing, you gotta be doing these hardcore.
Yeah, that seems weird. I don't.
But look, that sort of is what it is. My whole point is that I think this should work. Let's get it. I think this should work. I don't know what it's gonna cost, but I think what we found out is that people are willing to pay it. There's an appetite for this stuff out there. And maybe it's not me because like I'm not, you know, I don't really use Instagram. My wife does, I don't. But I think enough people are going to that this can work. So I'll let it settle down, but I'm thinking as long as we hold the 50 period on the daily, that Meta already looked like a value buy from a PE relative to the rest of the mags, and I think this kind of just further solidifies that.
That's too bad, man. I was sitting down there lower at 609 to get even more shares of this trade for Meta, but still pretty happy with what we're doing. Like I said, I'm going to sit at 620 to see if we can get another bump upside. I mean, I did not think this was a $9 trade. And then obviously the news comes out right there. But this is why you try to buy, prices and levels that I thought would work, right? And this is why, like, when it started to rip up, these are just all outs that I already had sitting here. So, yeah, I mean, did we expect it to move up that quickly? No, but this was the plan. I mean, right into there, right? I mean, that's about, so we're long at, well, what are we long at here? 609.75. So that first out is 611. So that's a $1.25. And then we go into this area right there, just ahead of the 200 period. Then we sit at VWAP, and then we sit at this level right there, right? And then we sit at this level right here. So it's all very calculated on the way up.
You know what? We had a conversation about this exact same thing. About someone was saying there was one. Trump made a tweet. It was at the lows, and there was all these breakout trades last week. And I was like, oh, that's just luck. Remember, press releases get time, and if you don't think that being at the lows has a little bit of something to do with the timing of a story like that. Like, there's no, like, when was the last time you saw?
So for me, I don't think that. Honestly.
No, but
not
in all
for
truth,
this.
when was the last time you saw a headline like that when a stock was at the high and it was literally at the HOD? I haven't seen it. Like, trust me when I tell you, it's like, the first thing is to be at a key inflection price. And oftentimes, if a big story is going to hit, it's probably going to be off of the lows. We've seen it time and time again. So it is what it is. You're bouncing off support level anyways. And it's just like, you can call it bank error in your favor or not. It just means it goes further, but it was probably going to go up anyways. It's just random stock that people are talking about. I don't know the story here yet, and Dara's not back at her desk.
Who knows? Yeah, so that's Q-Tex. So I was just going to say, like, as far as this is concerned, yeah, there's been so many times where stocks have gone down for a reason I can't find either, right? So a lot of the time you just kind of make the best possible trades you can, and then boom goes the dynamite back there to the upside. And this one was just buying, as Neil said, you buy the prices that you like and you hope for the best things to turn out. And so far, so good on that one. On Meta, now $9 in the money. All right, so that's a TQQ trade. NVIDIA's been hovering around that 10 area, right, for a while there. So there it is. It actually gets to 09s, and they could have done the same thing over here. There's a nice move up. And, of course, as the Nasdaq continues to appreciate, so do many of these names. We saw Apple was on one today, too. I'm not sure what the 52-week high is. I'm going to have a quick look. 311.82, today's high, 313. So we get brand new all-time highs on what was once called the dead one, all the way back up there. Shout out to my guy Sharif.
The very alive one.
Yeah, the best one actually ever. I've probably made the most. Well,
Undertaker.
I think I've made the most. Yeah, maybe I've made the most money I think in my portfolio on NVIDIA in my lifetime. But I definitely think Apple is probably right up there for sure. NVIDIA was just a monster there, and maybe even Meta. But Apple and NVIDIA definitely ones to hold on to for a long time, and I think they might as well just keep on doing that. There goes Apple, brand new all-time highs today. Yeah, that QTEX keeps on going up there. We can definitely have a look at that. Some things that have halted, RYOJ. Like I said, I'm going to call these things up until we see. Okay, I don't have the volume on these halts.
Oh, yeah.
This one halting all over the place here, RYOJ. Yeah, pretty blah on that one now for not much. Ooh, yeah, buddy. There goes Meta. We fire off that hot dog cannon now. Now $11 in the money as we take two outs, one at 620, one at 620.50 at those highs. So here we go, man. Meta just continues to climb just a little bit higher now. Now $11, $12 as we continue to just escalate here on Meta. And you mentioned maybe Snapchat or Google or something.
Snap's
Snapchat.
I thought Snap was a fade on all of this, but it's not actually going up enough to be a fade. Like, you thought if it could go sympathy, sell this thing because they can't monetize for what. So if the competitor can and they can't, why would they be going up in the first place? It's just not. They're not getting dragged higher. The ugly stepchild. And you know what? It's also just more reason why you have one less suitor for them. The more Meta does their own thing, the less options there are for an exit plan for Snapchat.
Yep, I think that's about right.
They suck.
I'm at 6.
We'll give them that.
Yeah, flush those guys down the toilet. We're at 622. I'm at 622.50 right now. See if we do get a little bit of a bump up. But Meta's just going crazy. I don't know if we're going to stop out at 617 or just let this thing fly. I mean, Meta finally gets that day that they're looking for here as they announce, and we'll get the story more complete here, but announcing that they will look to monetize here. Maybe I can get it on the news wire that we have here. Meta. I don't see it on our news wire.
Oh, here it is.
I see it on.
I got it.
Oh, you have it. I have it too. There it is. Yeah.
I can do that without the sound, but
Oh yeah, the sound without the sound. The sound is good though. Yeah. So there's the news right there. So we'll wait to see. Wow. Okay. About me getting out on the way up.
it's over.
Oh boy, now we are oh boying it. Shout out to Obi. Now it's $13 in the money, and we still have 20%. So here we go again today. Yeah, so far so good there on that Meta, and we'll just be really happy that we're able to do this. This is why I say, man, like every day I feel very lucky to come in here and sit down and trade. I mean, we're literally playing with house money right now. We trade on a prop floor, so you know all the risks that I put into this market really has no effect on my net wealth or anything like that. We just participate in the upside, and there it goes, man. 622, 623. Nothing but love here for Meta. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Is Google finding any sort of I mean, I think this is great for the whole space. Obviously now, if we're starting to monetize this, I think it should be good for an AMD, for an NVIDIA as well, as, you know, if Meta can start to prove, because Jensen's always like, you know, you spend $3,000 or 30 grand on a chip, you're gonna get 5x times that back in revenues and blah, blah, blah. So it's really nice to see what's happening right now as there goes Meta back to the upside. And the craziest trade today was we had both written down IREN down there at 6. I have two crazy trades. It's insane.
I can't believe it came back.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots of stuff happening here in this wild world of trading, of course, every day. But you're going to see right here, we had Meta, we had we had Tesla at 36s written down today. And we can sort of see what that's doing right now. Meta at 36, that was literally the low, and now where we are. And then we also had our boy IREN marked down at 61, and that is also doing damage here. And we got out as soon as that broke, because I was like, the sky is falling. But to my chagrin, it does come right back and give us that exact same trade again. So I feel a little silly that we didn't make enough money on that the second time around. But now we're $16 in the money on Meta. So yeah, bye-bye, see you later. This trade will just continue to work out for us and definitely pay some bills on this Meta trade. IREN new high today, Meta new high today. Market trying to go as well. A dollar club on the TQQs, which are just ho-humming that one, as that one's all the way up to the 50 period. Sorry, VWAP again as well. So let's offer that out and just continue to watch as the market continues to go higher on that great news from Meta.
Yeah, it is great news for Meta. It continues to go higher. We'll talk a little bit more about IREN there, because I think the environment when it hit the second time was a bit different than the first. At that moment, you had to look what the market was doing, but there was an obvious mistrade that wasn't necessarily the actual bottom. SMCI gave right into resistance. Here, I have a trend line drawn. I'm kind of looking at this. As long as it holds that, I like shots. But I'm going to tighten up the stop here. So I was going to give it to the trend line and short back into the trend, but we've now held VWAP. This becomes a VWAP hold. And with it holding that volume weighted average price, that means I'll get out and look for a re-entry point. I like to try to, one of the things we talked about the lesson of the day, we talked about it all this morning, is everything is in relation. Right? Like, how much are you spending on this trade to try to make it work to the downside? And if I have to let this break out with the market breaking VWAP, it's not worth it, because I don't want to be fighting this thing. The shorts were a lot better earlier in the day. By the way, I was teasing Snapchat that it wasn't going up, and yeah, now it is. So if Snapchat gets to the high, to me, that's going to be a fade off of the top, because I think this is a Meta story and it's not a Snapchat story. And I don't see why it should be that good for them. But just with regards to IREN, like, you don't need to have 61. You could have had this at the volume weighted average price. Like, forget about having it again at the bottom. It was right when we were leaving you guys. It busted. There's your test of the volume weighted average price. There's your breakout above VWAP. That's the trade that'll grind my gears more than not getting out early in the morning, not missing it at 61 again, because really that break of 61 went to 59.8. Like if you took 61 on the way down, it was worse than it was at the open. So you would have had to hold it further against you if you're just trying to catch it on the way down. You just needed to have it at VWAP and then you're good to go. You just start with a bias and go from there. But man, market does not want to stop. And it is led by Meta right now. I don't know if the Nasdaq would be at 30,000 if not.
No, I don't think so either. That's why we're taking some advantage of these trades and getting out of them as they continue to make moves higher here. I'm kind of laughing at it, but it's the Q's going right back into VWAP. Look, it's not once, it's twice that we ring the cash register here on the NASDAQ, and we always talk about it, man. Big cap trader, futures trader, that's what I'm trying to focus on. So today we have Meta Q's right now, and right up to VWAP, right back into those levels. Let's see if this one continues to work. Bitcoin continues to go lower, man. It's 75,000. Turning an IBIT. 75,000 have now broken. Wow, 627 now. Now we're getting uncomfortable. $18 now in on that. But IBIT down 1.5%. Breaking through now. I can't even think. Breaking through the 50-period moving average goes IBIT right now. So that's obviously in a downward trend. So we can wait to see what winds up happening with Meta at some point, with IBIT breaking back down below that 50-period. Coming through, and tonight is also Snowflake, right? So they're probably going to be a big mover today as well, between 10 to 13%. I think the implied move for Snowflake, you mentioned Marvell was 14% there, but yeah, Snowflake right now trying to make the best of it and not doing much there today, but a nice little comeback for Snow. It's right at a key level there, right? So I don't know if this is the informer or not, but right now Snow trying to break through 190. And could hold that. We'll see what happens today. Definitely something you want to look at. Hopefully a 200 period take and then right back there to the upside for Snow. And I don't know, man. I might.
Snow is the moment that gets Palantir to break the trend.
That would be nice. Oh boy.
Maybe that's it. Palantir is going to go. It's going to go. I sure as hell hope so. It's riding this trend. Like all of a sudden, this is now riding the trend line. Before it was tagging it and falling back. Now it's literally riding the trend line on the daily. Once this gets 140, the 160 at the 200 period, you're just talking like an easy pathway, and it needs a catalyst. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be. Snowflake would be as good as any, in my opinion. A sympathy plague is going to have to work because it's down 2.5 points today. It just goes to show if you're in the wrong space, they don't care. They don't care what the momentum is in the market. With software, it is sell first and forget about the rest. That's why I'm not optimistic about CRM. Prove it to me when you can. Like I'd be much more interested in looking at tomorrow if you get that 14. If you get the 14% down on Marvell, it's going to take you to 170. And where else are you going to want it? ARM was 2 days after. I want to say it was a low. 2 days. Call it 2 days on ARM. SNDK was the day of, and that wasn't 2 days. It was more than that. It was a week on ARM. You had to wait a few days on ARM to get that 200. Realistically, it wasn't just to get 200, but you could have had the same tool. I got 204 because I had to move my bid. But you were still getting those a couple of days after the earnings, and then look what happened. There's your earnings. On day one, you got 210. 3 days later, you're getting underneath 210. There's your bottom. Held for a couple of days, and then the ramp job up. Wouldn't you just look for the same thing in Marvell? Just keep it simple. Let them sell it off. Wait a couple of days. It makes any kind of a bottom. Take it off the low. 170 is as good a level as any, in my opinion. Like it just gives you a target. Like with ARM, 200 is just such an obvious round number. And why did I just lose a time in sales? Uh-oh. That's weird. One of my time in sales has crashed. I'll get that back up in a second. But how far can Meta go? I don't know. Is there overhead resistance here? I don't think
Meta at 629. I mean, I'm looking for 630. I'm just looking for even dollars here on Meta. Oops, that's TQQs. I mean, right now it's getting to be.
There are no levels up here.
It's getting to be a situation. I mean, we only have about 15% left now. Just a couple more outs at 630. Yeah, I mean, on the daily chart, we've wicked this high there, 628 and change.
I don't know if those are real.
I don't know if they're real either. We can have a double check on that one. But yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with what we're doing now on Meta. Finally getting that story. So we've definitely, yeah, look, like that's
25 is
that
the
didn't
high.
happen.
25.
20, yeah, so we're already through that. So let's just let it continue to go. I was honestly thinking like maybe this 25 period is where we could stop out of the rest. Only 15% left. This has been a monster. This is now going to be my P&L number 1 for the whole month of May. So there you go on Meta, you know, put some shares on there. Always wish we had a little bit more. I was waiting for more and it just didn't come in at 609. And all we were doing with this trade was honestly waiting for this. So it came in and it just didn't take more. I could have and didn't, but you know, that's the trade. So that's what we're doing there on Meta and really getting a nice bounce here from the futures as well as that's going, and that's definitely helping out your boys net now as that's starting to get going. And it's just, this is definitely not a fluke. I mean, right there, we buy the low there, we buy the low there, and then it goes. I mean, you got to put something up to make anything, and we did it. And we lost earlier today, so that's what that is. $88 on Netflix. I mean, we talk about subscription services. This name, okay, we might get 630 here on Meta, by the way. It's at 630 right now. And so there it is, yeah, $21 now. But there's Netflix trying to hold out for this level. See, this doesn't look as exciting to me. If Netflix was more down here, we could have a look at our daily levels. But yeah, not coming in yet for Netflix. Still down 0.15% now. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just, whatever. I always normally ramble on, but now it's just getting to be too much because there goes Meta now, 21 bucks. Like you said, I think it's 625 was the top. We're just gonna let this one go and sit back and relax right now and potentially sip some cognac. Is Randy ever gonna bring that?
The next gap is legitimately 650 bucks on the chart.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason for that to get there today.
No, I don't think it gets there. No, $25.
Who knows?
I don't know, nothing's impossible, but it can be improbable.
I mean, we're
but
20 in now.
Why wouldn't it get there? Look, it's going to close above the 50-period moving average. I don't want to buy it in the aftermarket. I want to wait till tomorrow because I like this level on Meta. You're still getting it at a good value on Meta relative to the other Mag 7. You can say whatever you want about it. And then you look at, there was this I was watching very closely on the monthly chart. Every time I do this drawing tool, there we go, a little bit better. If you go back to the 2024 pullback, like the parabolic move, first dip, look at the higher lows that it's, look at the bounce. That's a really good bounce on the monthly chart, and this month is your confirmation month. So even on the monthly, it's like a dip buy hold here on Meta. So I do like this, and sometimes you just need a reason. No way IREN's making another high a day.
Yeah, probably.
6-7 now, don't at me. IREN is now up 12%. I am not fading this stock. Definitely not. Watch out for, that's probably not real either. This was, these are earnings levels up here. So they're not, like it's already broken through the top at a 66.4, but like these are like kind of post-market levels. I guess 70 bucks was something in the post-market on the 7th, because it did trade there in the post-market, but I don't know, I don't put too much credence to those levels when you start flowing on through. That's just way too, it's too orderly to the upside. It has to do something parabolic if you're thinking some kind of a fade. What does SMCI look like? We jumped out of that one. Yeah, still actually broke through the trend line, so it's probably right to get out of that one early. So I got out of this one when it broke the 38, and it's above the trend line anyways. This might be a continuation long over the trend line, though. Like there's your higher.
I like SMCI.
There's your
Dell reports later this week.
Oh, we get Dell? Okay, well, good. I thought we actually didn't have anything past today that was an interesting name.
Dell's either today or tomorrow.
Dell's after the bell tomorrow night.
Yeah.
MongoDB after the bell tomorrow night. AEO after the bell tomorrow night. UiPath after the bell tomorrow night. Costco after the bell tomorrow night. Can you expect TTV research content in all of these? What do you think?
Well, Dell moves. Costco moves more when they do.
What about Meta? When do they report?
Well, that's what
I'm just playing around.
Costco just doesn't move.
I know. I'm just playing around with Meta. Yeah.
This is bigger than a report.
I have nothing else on my mind now.
It's a bigger report. It's bigger than a report for Meta here.
Yeah,
because like the reports haven't. Like it's more of the same. Unimpressed with impressive numbers. That's what the market's been telling.
Meta was down 10% on their most recent report.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like they sell it
it's
off.
already been up to this level. There goes Meta to the downside, and today we get the big boon of the subscription model coming in for Meta. So here is the story. We can send that one more time just so you guys can see what's really shooting this thing up. And there's the Meta story, and here's the Meta chart, and we are long down there, so we're still benefiting from that. I have a 633 offer right now to see if we can get that. Meta introduces paid subscription plans. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked yet. I don't know if it's, you have to, oh God. Did we just get, oh my God, we just got filled up there. $23, going. When is it gone? Who knows? Maybe already, as Meta just upside. We still have more than 10%, something like 12, 13, 15%, something like that left on Meta, and just trying to let this thing ride as high as we possibly can again here. And then we have a random stock, of course, LSCC. I want to pass everything random to Neil. He can go over them all. I'm just going to continue to focus on this Meta and on the futures trade. And,
give the viewers the leftovers.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it's all
You take the leftovers. Yeah, I think so.
No, whatever, man. Like, you know what? The show's for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll be the first to tell you, if I have literally never seen this company before or never traded it, then we always lead with that, right? So it's a semi stock, and if Lattice has news today, it ain't good. All right, so there's no chance the news is any good today after what you've already seen, and it doesn't. Since last week, maintained a buy. Deutsche Bank, that's not bad. They were presenting, they're supposed to present. No, it doesn't matter. They were presenting last week at a conference. There's no catalyst here. It's already relatively weak to the market and pulling back with everything else. So I'll tell you what I will, if it's in the semi space and it's at a high and it's pulling back today, I don't think today is the day that you want it.
Oh, right.
Like you want to buy tops. You want to buy tops going into Marvell earnings. You want to buy tops 2 weeks before SpaceX comes out. Congratulations. I don't even know these guys, and I wouldn't do it. But buying the dip when it actually pulls back, allow things to pull by 15, 20% if you like it. Right? 105, 80, 20% worked. This looks like it was some kind of an earnings high probably there. But either way, 137, close to 20%, maybe 15 buys, works. When you're at these tops, you got to let things pull back. But it's only done 1 million shares. It's not going to be a day trading stock. And again, there's no catalyst. We do have another super chat from Nick, and it's about UiPath, which we believe we just said is also reporting. Path will be the next Intel kind of mover. Mark my words, done a lot of due diligence on it, like SMCI for a move, but I think Umbrella will be the next kind of Marvell. You know what? UiPath has this mini match thing going on. Remember we talked about with Brian, where you just find something which is basing out? It's not basing out as long as Intel did. So it's not quite, because if you look at the bottom on Intel, that was on a much higher time frame. Like pull up the monthly chart on Intel, and this was like mid 2024 to effectively like August of 2025. So I don't know that you're getting the same kind of bottom here on UiPath. It's good. Like this recent one, you can call it. You can say it's been down here many times, but like that's an actual bounce fade, and then a bounce fade. Like this most recent consolidation has only really been 4 months. It's not quite the same coil as an Intel, but I see what you're getting at. Intel was a very unique situation. You had a year-long bottom at a historical, like 10-year low is support level, and then you had the U.S. government investing in it. There was a lot that worked in favor of Intel. I don't know if it'll be quite as crazy. And then throw the space that it was in too. Like the CPU market came out of nowhere. Did anybody see that coming with AMD and the CPUs? I didn't hear anybody talking about it till it had already happened. So there's a lot that worked for Intel that's going to be difficult to replicate.
I think, Nick, you answered your own question there. You have done the work.
Exactly.
So you've already put in the work, and you like the stock. So it's just like all the work that we do around here to give you guys ideas. Yesterday, SoFi 16, there's SMR. Yesterday, we didn't get long, but there's the 1175. And we talked about it. This could be the next little space that gets sort of heated up. That was yesterday's sticky note. We don't have it on there today, but you can see 1175 for SMR. That's the low there today. We could have definitely looked back at those notes. Still down on the day. I think SMR does have, again, that opportunity. We see Oklo and everything going higher and higher as well. SMR, I like the space. I know Quantum took a little bit of heat away from many of the spaces in the last couple of days, but they're back down a little bit today. I think Rigetti was back through.
Oh, there's a small modular reactor IPO on Friday.
Yeah. There's one IPO I'm definitely excited for. That's coming up, hopefully June 12th.
It'll be June.
Well, yeah, we're waiting for the pricing to come out. I don't know. I think it might open up north of $1,000. I have no idea what that's going to be. split adjusted pricing, of course, for they just split SpaceX in the open market. They split it 5-1. So it was about $800 or $900 or so. It's down to 195 right now in the open market. SpaceX shares. So again, my mind's on Meta, but SpaceX shares, yeah, that's what they're looking for in the open market. So we'll have to wait to see what they wind up getting once it comes through. So if it goes out at 195, yeah, you could probably be right about where that stock's going to open. You know, if they price it out at $2, probably gonna open $500-600, and then you just watch to see what happens. It should be a fun one on those days.
You can watch the tokenize the whole
time. Yeah, you can watch that. You said that worked out for Cerebras.
It wasn't the only use for watching it trade like in the tokenized market was it gave a semi-indication of when it was gonna open up. Basically, the price started merging with the indicated open and getting the tighter it got, the closer it came to open. And when it started holding really close to the indicated open, next thing you know, it was open. So it made me a little bit more on guard and not caught off guard in the moment it happened. If that's the best way to think about it. Sometimes you're sitting there in the afternoon and your hands are on the keys waiting for the open and you're sitting there with Cerebras was the same thing. And then you're not ready. But in this particular case, like I saw it, and then in the 2 or 3 minutes before, I was actually geared up because the spread had just tightened up when looking at the tokenized side. And you can look at, I don't know, CoinMarketCap. There's like a million of these.
Oh, I wanted to say
where you can find the quote.
Yeah. So we'll be showing you that as well today. I mean, we wrote down IREN, of course, and talked all about it in the morning. We actually have the trade. We dumped it, but there it was right here. We mentioned that we liked IREN there at $61, and the story is, I'm going to pop it out. You got to make sure you check out the watch list, check out the sticky note, check out everything. But the story today, and this is again delivered to your inbox. Thanks to Dara for all the hard work. As I keep saying, I have no idea where we would be without her. All right, so I just wanted to say, IREN right there, the company has signed a $1.6 billion agreement with Dell Technologies. So there we go, and you can see the upside movement off of that. So just more stats in here, targeted early 2027. The run rate revenue now goes from 3.7 to 4.4 billion. So obviously they're catching a nice little piece higher there, and that's why we did have it on that mark. And it did come in, and like I said there, definitely missed it. We were looking at Marvell, we were doing all those other things too, but there's IREN coming in right there as we go to the upside today for that one. Let's go find out who's making all the money. We looked at that yesterday, and we know what's going to be happening tomorrow. I'm sure there's a lot of traders on the Nasdaq that have been making some money on Meta there today, and maybe not. I don't know who's going to be at the top of that list tomorrow, but this is who was on it yesterday. And of course, we did have Blue Ocean the day before because it was closed, many of these markets, and look what's happening here today. Blue Ocean again. So someone's finding something there on the Blue Ocean, and that's again another benefit of using real trading is we have access to over 60 live markets. So if you're at home doing nothing, which some people are, and you have an opportunity to sit down there and trade, or you just get your time right. I mean, it opens up at 8 o'clock. If you want to trade for the first couple hours, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Literally trade the open.
Yeah, exactly. So
guys we know does.
Yeah, I haven't seen. From everybody that I know, I haven't. I think there might be one guy. Success.
I know one guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know for sure he doesn't sit there trading the whole session, man.
Right. This is the one guy that I think had graduated in the last 10 years.
Probably 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Night maybe?
Good, yeah, so nothing. So there's Blue Ocean right there, Blue Ocean. There's Canada again, Amex, Nasdaq. There's another Blue Ocean trader. And again, remember, we have traders all over the world, China, everywhere. So it doesn't necessarily mean that these are guys that have traded all day and then are going ahead and trading after hours. We do have Moon, ATS as well. Shout out to Jeff Mendel and the OTC markets. This guy's on a forever holiday. Man, that guy has a good job. Nasdaq, New York, Amex. So that's what's been going on there. And then we can go back and look at the individual markets. Let's just start here. Yesterday, we had someone make almost $1,000 in Vienna, and these are all US dollars. So LSE as well, Hong Kong, Australia, Milan, CSE, Nasdaq, and then Blue Ocean, the number one top dog right there yesterday. So that's what's making all the money around here. We'll see today or tomorrow if it's going to be Blue Ocean or not. It could be maybe Marvell earnings, SOX. I know SOXL has been big there on the ocean as well. But okay, yeah, let's go over to Neil.
Well, speaking of real trading, everybody, I mean, we just saw some of the numbers there. If you're interested and want to become a real trader, hey, The new cohort for the campus program is there. You can always go to Real Trading, look at the training courses, go to the website, check it out, try to sign up for it. And remember, if you live outside of the US, unfortunately, now's your chance. Think about this. Anywhere, just about anywhere outside of the US, you're able to apply. Whether you're in Canada, you could be in England, we have viewers all over the place. This is a chance. You're going to be able to learn market structure. You're going to be able to learn different keys that you're able to use. You're going to be able to understand order type, professional risk management as well. It's all there. Space is always going to be limited, so you want to make sure you sign up. And the camps program has been something that for the last couple of years has sort of been the model for people to learn here. And again, you have to, anywhere outside of the US, so jump in and sign up. Real Trading, you get to trade on the same platform that you see us on as well. So we're here trading in P8. People always get questions like, what platform are you guys trading on? Where do you execute on? When you guys talk about those dark pools, what are you doing for that? It's all on Real Trading. Tremendous access to the markets. The imbalance locator you see every single day, piped right in live, API access, anything you could ask for. We got a super chat from Count Dooku, or from Dooku.
Good.
I don't know MYR, but you guys are coming to Kuala Lumpur.
Yep.
Well, that has been mentioned. That is absolutely true. Yes. I don't know what to say. Yes. That is absolutely true. What is MYR? I'm gonna.
It's currency, isn't it?
No, it's a currency. It's Malaysian.
Yeah, Malaysian.
It's a ring. Is it ringgit? Is that what we say? I don't know.
I don't know, MYR, but thank you for the super chat.
appreciate
That is
the super
for
chat.
sure. All right, so Meta we got some more out basically a couple more outs there at 6:30. We now have 10% exactly left, so we dumped about whatever up there at these levels at 6:30. Now we talked about what breaking back down below the 25 period. So now that that's happened, I'm gonna take another piece here as well. Just punch out at 628 there. So we tried to cross that spread. We got 628.05. So just to let you know, you could sit there at 18 and wait for it, or cross into these levels. So we take another piece out. We're getting lighter and lighter now on this trade this will be, I don't know. I mean, obviously, besides the trade there on the IPO, this will probably be the biggest one net-wise this month. So I'm happy for me, anyways. I'm really happy for that trade, and we're just gonna wait to see where it settles. I will buy some more of this, but it's gonna have to come back into 618 at least. So we'll be out of that trade as it continues to sort of mature back down in, as more and more people, get that story and figure out their positioning. And I think there's a lot of traders probably like Neil, like anybody, that's wondering, where do we get into Meta at some point now that, they've had this announcement? I expect Meta to be up significantly tomorrow as well.
I'm already in the thing.
So, Meta's one of my largest holdings, I think.
Yeah, the buys throughout the year at this level, like I said, it's the exact same price that you would have been buying the dip at any point, not just this year. There was one dip that was better than this, but it's been the 600 level in the back quarter last year. It was the 600 level in January. It's been the 600 level until that flush in March, and then it's the 600 level again.
It's not like it's up that much, man. It's up $30. You're up 5% from that level,
Yeah, so it's like if I liked this level a quarter ago, why not?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's after earnings, so we get that as well. But as it tries to pull back, I said I wanted Snap wherever it happened to get to. Well, Meta has been putting in red candles, and Snap stopped going higher. So, and I'm not thinking VWAP doesn't really matter here. I just think low of the day. So it happened to top out at 86, so that's where I have it. We'll just give it a couple cents to 88. It's a $6 stock out there. That OT, now I already. What was the symbol that everyone on TikTok? Well, QTEX. That's what it was, one OT.
Oh, the QTEX.
Yeah, the QTEX. A lot of QTEX that a lot of traders or a lot of our viewers on TikTok were into. That's holding up pretty well on the latest dip. It's the volume that would be a concern now. So yeah, dip buy, holding the dip at some higher lows, but have a look at how the volume has really died down on QTEX, and that could be a bit of a symptom that its best is behind it. So yeah, it made the high at 220, still back at the $2 level. You're starting to see it sell off a bit here. No one ever went broke taking profits on this, and I guess it's a recent IPO. I mean, I don't know where this one came from, but I've never seen anything. When was the last time you ever saw something where we have 3 days of data on it and it started at 43 cents?
Yeah.
QT. No, but to me, I can't remember the last time I saw something like that. The last time I saw something where you had a big gap and nothing was because a stock was halted for half a year and then opened up as a penny stock. I don't recall ever seeing something that came here. So I don't know this exact story with QTX. Adair, I don't know if you have it as well. Kind of a curious one.
I've looked into them in the past. They recently rebranded. I think that they didn't come straight to market. I believe they changed their name. So they were something else. And then a couple weeks ago, I want to say the week of May 11th to 15th, they changed their name to QTrex. So that was my understanding when I looked into this a while back, because they changed their name. And I'm going to look into this again for you guys live before I get into what I wanted to talk about here. Because my understanding was that they changed the name. Yeah, here we go. Inspira Technologies rebranded as QTrex Quantum. So that was actually last week. So they were formerly known as IINN. That could be why there isn't much data. So they were IINN. Last week, they began trading here, I guess, two weeks ago? Either way, May 20th, 2026, they begin trading as QTEX, changing their name to QTrex Quantum. The timing of this was really interesting because it came right before that massive piece of quantum news. So that was the deal there with QTrex. In the meantime, a lot of people have asked us today, why were we all wearing baby blue? And I don't know why we were all wearing baby blue, but I can certainly tell you we're matching like half the earnings names reporting tonight. Actually, 66% of the earnings names reporting tonight. Because look at all these blue logos, guys. We've got Salesforce, Snowflake, Agilent, and HPQ all reporting tonight after the bell, along with, of course, Marvell and Synopsys. Pretty big expected moves across the board here. Marvell and Snowflake almost tied here with the largest, both around 13.3, 13.4% expected moves. Snowflake tends to move quite intensely here after earnings. Synopsys, smallest expected move here, around 7.8%. CRM here, 8.8%. HPQ here, and again, their CEO just jumped ship to go to PayPal, so that's going to be of interest here. 9.2% expected move for HPQ. We'll see you guys on the screen soon with a little earnings surprise. Back to you.
I certainly wore blue because of those earnings names.
Yeah.
I didn't put that much thought.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I said to the wife, should I wear a hat or not? And I went into the closet where I have about like 50 hats, and I just picked out this one. So Blue Jays won yesterday, so we thought we would wear it again there. Yes, hopefully the Jays can get it together.
They had a big win
500 or something.
They're close to 500,
so they'll be fine.
They'll
Obviously, with our payroll, we want much more than that, but we'll wait.
Half the payroll is injured right
Exactly,
now,
and that's sports, right? So, all right, what about Roblox? Let's just have a quick little look at this one, $46, $47, as summertime comes closer and closer right now, especially in these parts. You know, we've made a trade before on Roblox. Will we do it again? Maybe. Got to figure it out. But, you know, buying it into the summer months and letting it sort of extend through. And now they don't drop daily active users anymore or monthly active users. So, you know, the whole summertime trade there, which last summer, I mean, we had talked about buying it and then letting this thing ride into the summertime, and that's exactly what wound up happening. So, you know, you buy now as the kids are in school and still on Roblox 8 hours a day. What do you think is going to happen once they're on the summertime? Add those hours, maybe multiply it by 2, and there it goes to the upside, and now all the way back down. So the only problem with Roblox, of course, I mean, there's lots of problems, but the main one, we have regulatory issues there. There's just not enough blocks to block your kids from, you know, all the evils that are out there. It's just anybody can get in and chat to your kid and can do whatever they want to them, basically on any game as far as typing or chatting to them or whatever. So that's been a problem. You know, Marissa and I have obviously talked about that. Our kids are old now, so whatever. But into that level, $40.21 there for Roblox, so watch out. I still think that this is a good level and might be something to consider buying if you want to get a little more oomph into the trade. Like, this could double, you know, no problem. It's at $50, $46. A double brings you to the 200 period moving average. So there we go. All right, easy peasy. I mean, you must be having a big day. $5 is 0.2%. Okay.
Missed yesternight. Oh, yeah, that's
right. Oh, this is an adding from yesterday. Oh, okay. I was on vacation yesterday. So you made 2.5 in
Nutanix.
NTNX, yeah, grabbing market share in VMware, okay, from Broadcom. So that's nice. So this is, again, the story of, you know, competition coming in there. And then saving my clients. Oh, you have 2 clients there. That's nice. $2 million. Okay, well, so they switched over, saved $2 million, and they report tonight. So NTNX, easy peasy there. We can have a look at that one for sure.
Yeah,
thanks for the super chat.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat. That actually, that just spiked.
Yeah, because of the super chat.
Well, maybe because of super chat, but certainly on its own, or it is what it is, you probably get a little bit more press out of it if it didn't make its afternoon spike at the moment the meta was going nuts, right? So that's how everyone else's scanners are going to be busy with one thing, and then this is going to get lost. But yeah, good luck here at Easy Peasy. And we always appreciate the super chats. It doesn't really matter. The other way that you can always get at us in the chat, which is pretty simple. Uh-oh, which one am I in? I have both these chats open. I think this is the right one. The other thing you can do, do I have an example of it? Is like right here. Mint Cornetto. See how you just tag us? If you tag anybody in the chat, see how it just stands out? And it's not that you can't, it's not that we're not going to see other ones. Alan's saying you have a hat closet. Ask Sean if you can try his baseball cap. And I responded to Mint Cornetto. I have way too much Jays gear.
Oh man, I have so many hats.
The amount of, like, I'm a season ticket holder to the Jays. And then we also, like, everything they give away through the year, if you pay, it's not that, like, you pay like $50 or whatever, I forget exactly what it is, they send all of it to you in 2 tranches. So we get, like, every year we get 2 boxes of Jays stuff. So I don't have to, you just don't want to be in the line and always have to be one of the first 10 or 15,000. So I got all kinds of nonsense stuff. Like last week they were giving away, or that's this weekend, it was like a cricket sweater.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, I'm not waiting in line for that. So you get, it's like 99% of stuff. Sometimes there will be things that you don't get in that package. Like there was that one bomber jacket. You actually had to line up for that. I'm like, hell no, because you had to be 3 hours early. Let's go over to the, not the desk.
Yeah, maybe more than 3 hours.
Because I see that Adara is in front of the big screen.
Ooh, we like that. There goes Meta, by the way, 631 again.
Not alone, I'm also here with everyone's favorite American Eagle spokesmodel and actress, Sydney Sweeney. American Eagle reports earnings after the bell tomorrow night. So I wanted to share this American Eagle earnings preview with you guys. You can actually find this already on X at TTV Research. And I think it's kind of interesting too. We had a new promo with Sydney Sweeney. So this is her in the most recent promo, and they decided to call it Sid for short, which is kind of interesting here, I guess, because it's short for Sydney, but also obviously easy to make puns here about American Eagle, long or short. And she's wearing shorts. You can't really see them in this photo. So new promo here. This came out last month for AEO. We'll have to see if the Sydney Sweeney effect is live and well. But in the meantime, you guys can certainly look at this X at TTV Research infographic. I will be rolling out more of my older AEO infographics leading up to tomorrow night's report. Again, guys, also after the bell tonight, Dell. You're going to get UiPath. You're going to get Costco. You're going to get MDB. So there's tons of heavy hitters. And please always, for tonight, for tomorrow night, and for every earnings night of even mild import, check us out on X at TTV Research. The shameless self-plug is over. I'll go back to that news desk, and we're going to go back to the guys.
It ain't shameless at all, and thanks for great work there again. I don't know, the effect is the effect. You've already had the move, the Sydney Sweeney effect move. Now they're going to have to put up probably have to put up some numbers. You're still retail, and retail's still struggling.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to have to go on your own merits, but there is a breakout chance here. It's probably still got a decent enough short float, right? I mean, that was a little bit of the party before, and I know we were talking about it was like UiPath, and someone said, "Oh, I like that, but it has a decent big short float." I'm like, but I don't know, if you're looking for an up move, I count that as a plus for a breakout trade. If you're just talking about a trade. If you're talking about an investment, a lot of times you have a heavy short float. It can be difficult as an investment. It's only 13% now. Yeah, the last time, so this was in the, I think it was almost like 20 to 25% when this made the first move. And where Sharif lost, who lost the bet? Did Sharif lose the bet? I don't know, whatever.
It was Sharif and Joe, yeah.
Sharif and Joe had a bet. And I forget which one of them won the bet, but that was a much bigger short float. Yeah, Sharif won the bet. It was a much bigger short float at that time when you got the bigger squeeze. So some of the shorts probably got blown out. I think it's got less juice in it than it did before, just based on that factor and what you see with the retail space as well. Hey, Neil, please take a look at Neo and Nokia. Thank you.
Nokia's been on one, hasn't it?
Nokia's been fantastic. NEO's up 9% today, and I'm not even, why is NEO up 9% today? Really? Is it just, maybe there's like some relief rally going in some of the Chinese stocks that we don't know about? Yeah, not really seeing, it just says, oh, shaking off regulatory scrutiny. No, that's just in response to Beijing basically coming out, and they punked a specific sector. It was in the fintech sector. And everything China-related goes down because it's just a further reminder of why you don't want to invest in China, because the government and the regulators can come in and say, oh, we don't like the way that you make money, so you're not allowed to do it anymore. And if things sell off for that reason, sometimes you get a buy. This looks like it had its own news today. But I'm unaware of anything other than just maybe a technical break here for NIO. I can't really say that I like the stock. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But It was on an upward trend before. It is putting in some higher lows. It is doing much better than Li Auto, or I believe also XPeng. So we'll give it its flowers, because Li Auto is like a heaping pile of dung right now, and Neo has been kicking its butt, at least in terms of performance of the chart. Like Li Auto's at a 52-week low as we speak. So yeah, if you got to go for something, go for the stronger chart. And then when it comes to look, Nokia's been just fine.
Who's calling my phone?
It's just it's 5% back because everything is pulling back today. And we don't want to repeat it, but like if you are, again, it's an NVIDIA tie-up. If you're seen in the space, you're down today. That's just how it is. So it's just doing nothing different from what you're seeing the overall market do. So let it do its dip. It's still got a pretty steep trend line, but a trend line up is a trend line up. You've had 2 or 3 down days, and then it tends to find its footing again. On the heels of the Marvell earnings, maybe we'll get the same thing, and you look for the dip buy. Trend's a trend. The trend's your friend till the end when it bends. That's an Obi saying, and I like it. I really like that saying. At some point, buying the dip is going to lose. Until that point, buy the dip.
Yeah, we're at Meta is not dipping at all. We did get a little bit of a dip for Meta. Now it's right back there to the highs, now $23 in. And I always read the same ads. And right now we have volatility creates movement. And for sophisticated traders, movement creates, of course, opportunity. Beta Pro by Global X offers Canada's first and longest running suite of levered and inverse levered ETFs built for sophisticated investors who understand the risks of leverage and the importance of precision. They have a triple levered bull and bear ETF tied to the Nasdaq 100. These indexes trade for tactical trades, providing amplified daily exposure and giving trader tools to engage with both upward momentum and market pullbacks. These strategies are currency hedge, seeking to offset US dollar exposure back to, of course, the Canadian dollar. For those navigating short-term market moves both up and down, Beta Pro offers the flexibility to act with conviction, whatever that looks like for you and your individual strategy, objectives, and risk profile. Trade tactically, learn more at betapro.ca. And of course, we had them on our show not too long ago as Adara, had interviewed them. All right, now Meta is now $24 as we try to hold on to a little bit, about 5% left, so womp womp, but there it goes, man. Huge move right there to the top side of this day there for Meta. And, you know, if you didn't buy the dips, you didn't buy the dips, but there's still gonna be lots of opportunities, as we just said. Meta just kind of cruising right now. Sorry, that's the Nasdaq on the daily chart. Lots of opportunities to get in to Meta. I mean, it's been here many times before, including just a couple months. April 28th was the report or so, and there was the dump down. So there's lots of time to get back into these levels. 671 incoming for Meta. Tomorrow, I believe, will be a nice, and I said this when Meta was up 1%. I think tomorrow will be a huge day for Meta, just as people digest this and they read more about the subscription platform coming for Meta. And, you know, we're long it. And once I heard that story, we already had pretty much, it wasn't a full position because we have a lot of buying power and can always put on more shares, but something that I was comfortable with, that little break right there, there's the story, introduces plans for Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. So we'll see if they're gonna charge people to use all those platforms. I think they will, and I think they should. So there's 616, 617 coming there. That was the big break upside. Then we had a little bit of consolidation with that news, and then there's the break again. So I think the break of 620 could have been something as we zoom in just a little bit there. So back in, got a little nervous getting out at 618. I mean, we're still long, that's 10 bucks in the money. Then it's that break right here that we got out, and then wow, the extension now, we just touched 635 right there on Meta as it just continues to climb upside there. It's power hour, and man, is it being powered up. And we might as well just get another piece out on the TQs here as well. 76s, if we're able to do that. We've already topped out near this high before, so we'll just wait to see if and when we can get out of these TQQs and Meta. Like I said, we wanted to get out of Meta on the 25 period break, so that's what we were doing there. And then it just took it, and now it's like, okay, we'll see you around. I'm gonna put one at 50s, I guess, at 634, I put it at 80. We'll see what winds up happening now if we get one little bump through. 635 incoming there for Meta. Really no reason to be getting out of this other than we have an hour left, and we just want to make sure that we put some money in our pocket as we're going suit shopping. I only own one suit. My son's going to tie me today.
Oh, for the...
Yeah, he has prom, so we're going to go out there afterwards. And
I was like, suit shopping. I'm like, you're not for yourself.
No, I don't wear suits.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens here. But there it goes, man. 6:35
is the only reason. Anytime a trader would show up on the trading floor in a suit, he'd be like, oh, I hope nothing bad happened, or you got a court date. It was always one of two things.
That's why I said to Joe, the minute I started seeing the guy, I thought he was in the wrong spot.
Oh, Joe dressed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Not playing. Someone said Meta 650. That's, when we said that number, it's the next gap on the chart. That's all. Next 650 is the next gap on the chart. Meta's trading 19 times forward.
That's what someone said. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh,
so
you
for
said
me,
that, yeah.
So for me, like the last time I bought Meta was a couple of Qs ago, and it was at more or less this level. So at that PE, I got some new money to put to work, and it's probably going to go into. I'll wait till tomorrow, probably. You know, like it's just usually, you know, let's see where it's at tomorrow. But unless it's gapped up to $700, I don't see why not. You're still getting it at a value. And to all of, there's a lot of people that are saying they're going to lose a lot of users over this, like Netflix did. Like
they will not.
Remember, we've seen this work before. Like they're not trying something that hasn't already been done. And to the extent that maybe they do, I think that'll get made up for the amount that they earn. So I think I'm seeing this as a net positive, and you're getting it at a sharp discount to the reasonable discount compared to the market. I suppose you can't say sharp discount. The S&P is probably at 25 or 26, and this is 19. That's a pretty good discount, and a big-time discount relative to the other Mag 7. So I like it. I think this is a good story for them. I can't see any reason why. If you wouldn't want to hold this for the next few years at these levels, there's only one thing counting against them, and that would be it's really just the spend, right? It's the CapEx spend. If it wasn't for that, I don't think people would be concerned about Meta at all. So with one concern, now another positive catalyst, good price, I like it. Netflix should be a safe man, woman. Well, I don't know about Netflix. We mentioned Netflix. I only mentioned Netflix because the ads here didn't do anything negatively to them. This stock has had other problems in that right now, it's all about, like, show me what you're making, show me what you're working with, and Netflix is not. They're not a chip name, a hyperscaler. They're the best at what they do. That doesn't matter right now. So I think this probably wait till $80 on Netflix until proven otherwise, or it's like 75 to 80 where the support is. This is not split adjusted, so I can't really show you a good Netflix chart until I go to eSignal. And if you look at the monthly, yeah, it was a great buy zone on the monthly here, but the fact that you immediately reverse that hundo, even as I look at the monthly chart, maybe 70 is even better. 70 looks like a way better buy on Netflix. So I've already bought once down here, and I didn't take anything out when it bounced to 110. So I'm looking for a place to wait for more, and it's probably 20% down from here when I look at this monthly chart. I don't mind buying things as they're coming in, but you got to be at least a little bit patient with it.
Yeah, good call. Ramin said winners might be a good call to get some suit. Ja P. Look, the getting that part of this was kind of lucky. I didn't buy it. Yeah, if I can get that. Oh, I don't have the chat. It's just going to load up now. But what's up here, Ja P? We talked about this Meta trade before, and it was just coming in. So thank you, Ja, for that nice talk there. Ja, are you the same Ja Rule that recommended Bitcoin down there at like $5,000? So we just got it based on that. It was pretty simple. I just keeps it simple over here. I mean, this is what I'm trying to do every day, is just show you that, like, this is kind of some of the stuff that's doable. Others will trade what they trade, and I just looking to make a little bit of money here and show you guys some of those opportunities. And so there's Meta. We were gonna drop. Honestly, my stop is a 609 break, so this was like $1 worth of risk. So if you can imagine, we were able to put some shares on there, risking $1, and then we get that news, right? And I just want to show you that. So again, it was just based off this. That's all. The sort of the back and forth bottoms, the shelves here off the open. That's what we were looking at. So when it came back in, I actually have another bid down here at 0950 that never got filled. So because we saw that fill and it was right here, we were waiting. I mean, this went to 40s, maybe it was a little bit lower. And then we weren't going to use 09, we were using 0850s. So we were giving ourselves a little bit of room, but 09 was sort of the trigger spot there. And then it just blasted off. And I just want to show you where we got out. So that's already there for about $1.50, $2, and that was to cover up, you know, if we lost, so 1 to 1, 1.5 to 1 or so. Then we got out to 200, then we got out of VWAP. Now most of these lines now have changed because of what's been happening, obviously to the upside. Then our next out is right there. Right, we've already seen this level at 613, so that was the next out. And then honestly, we just went back to this level. So all of these fills happen naturally. I didn't even put out orders. It just ripped up through some of these levels. Then when we got up here, that's when we started you can see when I was just letting it trade, and then when I actually got involved, and that's where you start to see more outs over here, because again, I look down, I see the P&L, and I'm like, I'm taking it. Obviously, in hindsight now, this is $27 in the money, like, you know, but we just took that out too. That was 632. Now it's 637. Meta's going higher, but there it is. So there's some more outs there at 620, as that was the top. Then we just kind of let it go. Once it broke the 25 period moving average, okay, $30 now in the money. Like, Meta is honestly just absolutely cooking right now. This will be a great time to check the long-term account. But there goes Meta, 635 right there. So we just started taking pieces out at levels that I thought were decent. And obviously, every single one of these outs is wrong because you are now way higher. But hey, man, as a trader, all we can do is take our best guesses at things. And that's what happened there with Meta. And I mean, just to show you what, we were trying to do the same thing with Marvell, and we got stopped out. And that was right there. We bought that low, and then we were holding it. So it did have a nice move off of there. We did get some out. Then I went to the gym and left a stop order in, of course. And that was at the low of the day. So, of course, Marvell hits that low of the day, never comes back, and then pops through there. So Marvell could have been an absolute monster. As soon as we get stopped out, it rips up. So, you know, sometimes, that's what I'm saying, some bank error not in your favor, bank error in your favor the other way around. Meta could have easily stopped me out, and then I would have missed that whole move, so we don't have to worry. And then just to show you, man, like, I sort of coined something, traders got to trade. Like, this is a level right there for me. So when I'm going to sit here and call myself a guy that trades futures, a guy that trades these, mega cap names, and just like Sharif will be looking whether or not positive or negative, you can always ask Sharif, he'll tell you every day if he's up or down. He's going to look at small caps. He loves to look at those. I love to look at these things. So there it comes right into these levels. So we took it again, and boom, there for the TQs. This is actually, Meta's going to be, as I just told you, P&L, it will be big, but it's this trade right here that is actually better. That comes right into those levels. We bought it again, does not break the low. Lucky it doesn't. Get out there near VWAP as it has to come back up, 200 period VWAP, then it drops right back in, right into those same levels again. So we took it a little early, right there. We take part of it. So I'm kind of trying to go probably, 1/4, then maybe 2/3, leave a little bit if it's down here and we get a good feel, and then it just popped through the upside again. So there it goes, getting more out at VWAP, and it looks like right here we're starting to turn back around. So although Meta is still going higher, it looks like the futures might be at a turning point, so I'll take advantage of that. Offer there, 63, it hits me and goes right through. And so that's it. We'll put another offer up there, high mid-70s for this, see if that winds up working. But yeah, good afternoon for sure if you're long the market, but it's looking like it might turn around. So I don't hate anybody that's
tried to go green and couldn't go
out a short there. Yeah. Well, and Meta can only do so much lifting, right? It's not a huge part of the Nasdaq.
Or IREN.
I mean, I love IREN.
No, IREN's not going to move the market. IREN just continues to go higher.
Check my account.
One of the only shorts that was as clean as it can get might give one more shot here at IBIT. IBIT was only once, maybe you could argue twice, it was a VWAP trade, and then VWAP stopped mattering until about 1 o'clock. Well, we're pushing back into the volume weighted average price again. So it's only 313, there's still plenty of time. Want to look for this one to get into VWAP. If it rejects like it did in the morning, then I would jump back over, try to get that one into the south side as TXJ Jet fan. IREN with another leg up.
I should be up $1 million.
That stock is just ridiculous today. But one thing we didn't look at, I know we looked at IREN a lot, but I forgot to mention this. Like, this sucker is also, it's got room. It's not even at the, like, a lot of stocks are at the breaking highs or pulling back off highs today. But this has a lot of room to go until you get back to last year's top, which is at $78. It's still $11 away from that. So what about IREN doesn't look like a long again tomorrow? I don't know. Like it was an exhaustive dip buy in the morning, like several times, and then did a reversal. And then look at the trend it's been on since making that low. This is actually a trend break on IREN up here. How did I draw that trend line? Yeah, you know what? This is a trend break. All right. If it loses 67, 10-ish, it's like 10 to 15, then this is a bit of a trend break trade on IREN. And it's not an all-day trend, but from the 1030 or again, about 1030 low, this has been holding the exact same trend line. Because I wasn't looking short, I mean, I'm sure we had the locates, but I just always double check because the last thing you want to do is try to hit the short and then all of a sudden you can't get it. Everything's brew. Thank you for the super chat. Well, I did just mention IBIT. I'll just leave the black chart up. Yeah, I want to, if it gets to VWAP, just maybe short into the volume weighted average price in here like this morning. Bill Doe. Okay, is that your maybe alter ego?
IBIT. Some IBIT action.
No, man, Bitcoin's been, I don't know, it's relatively weak, so I kind of lean toward the short side of the trade until it shows us something else. Like show us some pep in its step. Crypto's been lagging the market. It's on a weekday. Like it was the only thing out of the four stocks. It was like IREN and Tesla. Actually, no, I was looking for Uber at 71 for a short. Did that get to 71 today? Oh yeah, shoot, it did. Kind of. 70.85 ended up being the high. But Uber is actually up 1 point today.
Oh, what? Okay.
Well, 1% on Uber, it's not bad. It's just that this stock sucks. So I'm not that impressed with it yet. But yeah, the trend break on IREN potentially, who knew? Maybe we'd find a pullback trade at the end of the day. Sarah?
So there's another element to this Meta story that I just saw and I looked into. So we're initially talking here about that TechCrunch report suggesting the company will be unveiling different, I guess, ad-free like subscription tiers for some of its platforms, including Meta, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Now I'm seeing that apparently around the same time, and I guess it's kind of got a little lost here, but I'm seeing it recirculate now. Bloomberg reported that Meta is going to be launching paid subscriptions for their Meta AI chatbot as well. Now, this apparently is explicitly because the company is spending a lot of money on AI and they need to recuperate it. So they're like, hey, why not sell a chatbot? So that's the other thing here with this story. Apparently, they introduced subscriptions for their Meta AI chatbot. Meta One Plus plan is going to be here priced at $7.99 per month. Meta One Premium tier at $20 per month. Apparently, the subscriptions will target power users, quote unquote, who frequently generate AI videos, images, and use reasoning features. The rollout's going to start in Singapore, Guatemala, and Bolivia. Back to you.
Well, I think we all expect to pay for it.
Well, I mean, there's also that piece of AI that's involved, right? We talked about how expensive these tokens are, things like that. So they can only pass on so much of that, and we say thank you to Meta for what it's doing to our portfolios.
I'm not paying for any of them, though. Are you paying for any of the AI?
I don't know, probably not. I mean, we pay for it here already.
We have it.
So I don't. Yeah, I think I would. You know, if I didn't have anything and I was using Meta to that extent. I mean, you have to be a content creator, right? So if you are, look, Meta's made so many millionaires of content create. Like Meta has created a whole new economy. I don't have to tell you guys this. We already talked about everybody that's doing everything on YouTube and all that. So Meta and Instagram has just created a huge amount of wealth for not only its creators but also advertisers as well. I mean, people wouldn't be spending money if they weren't getting an ROI on it. So yeah, I think Meta's doing the right thing by monetizing this, and this is what we've been waiting for. And I just think tomorrow you'll see numerous upgrades. And yeah, man, Meta continues to fly higher, and I'm happy that it's a part of the portfolio, and I think that everybody should be. This is good news for them. I don't really see, honestly, I just don't see another way that this is like, oh damn, what have we done? Like, I think this is a good job for Meta, and definitely a success story waiting to happen. So there it goes, Meta. Now going to charge people. You guys can, everybody in the chat, whatever. I mean, if it's not for you, you don't have to do it. I just think that there's going to be a lot of users that won't have a problem paying $8 a month. I mean, there's people that are receiving tons of checks.
That's nothing.
Yeah, so I would just wait on that. But yeah, maybe they fall on their face and nobody does it. And they only have 3 billion users. So if they do wind up losing a few of those, probably that's fine. But you could still stay on the free tier like it is now. So I don't really see why anybody would unsubscribe or delete their Instagram or WhatsApp or Facebook accounts. You know, you're already seeing all the ads. Those are going to continue. As Adair just dropped it, this is going to be an ultra premium section for $20, and then maybe $8 maybe is the less ads and more use of their lemonade or whatever it's called their
Llama?
system there. Llama. I think it's avocado or mango or something there. Lemonade and iced tea is such a tasty treat. Shout out to Arnold Palmer right there. Yeah, Nokia down 5% today. So that name's going down, and you know no one's calling my phone. So
same thing as the market. What you get a pass being down 5% today if you're Nokia, because everything has pulled back. If it's not pulling back today, I think that's the bigger story. Where like Iran being up is a big story, Meta being up is a big story. Anything in the space being down 5% is not a big deal. Actually, it wasn't a super chat. Someone was tagging us about there's a Canadian space company, but I can't see the comment anymore. There is like this. It's in Brampton too, but it's super small. I don't think anybody would be that interested in. I do know of it, but I think it's MD something. Not a really big player, and there's a million ways that you can get defense, defense exposure and space exposure that I think would be a little bit better. Just because I live in the city doesn't mean the space company there you gotta like. If it's on the TS, it's like MDS, I believe it is. So Iran continues to hold trend and just broke. Oh, maybe it didn't break the high. Well, it got close to the high. It tried to break this $68 level. 68.12 is the current high. It's still only 320. Got plenty of time. We are long in the tooth. Like if it doesn't break this trend line soon, or you know maybe we get to VWAP on IBIT, then I don't know if I'm going to get either one of these ones to the south side. MDA space, that's what it's called. Yeah, listed here in the TSX.
Okay, I wonder if it's going.
MD, is it? I've never looked it up. I'm sure it is. If you're space related, you've been going recently. So I can't imagine a world in which it hasn't been performing as well. But I don't know. Does anybody want to punch high? Like all anybody is talking about is how big the SpaceX IPO was. You've seen it time and time again. You've been around the market long enough. When you get a groundbreaking IPO, forget about this one has market effects because it's so large in scope. But SpaceX has all of this hype around it. And then the rally, and I'll just pull up UFO because we don't have the other one in our platform for some reason. The NASA ETF is in our platform. But UFO is effectively the same thing. Like look at what this is doing. If you extrapolate this another couple weeks and it stays on trend, this could be at 80, another 15, 20% higher. If that's the case, how good is that going to look when SpaceX is at a ridiculous valuation? What do we see, 772 today or something nonsense? And it could be even higher. I don't know. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of money running to the exits because it's unprecedented.
Yeah, I've already called. I think June 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. Those are going to be the tops of the market. I would be selling the Rocket Labs and the ASTSs of the world, and just wait to see what winds up happening after that. Hopefully you can get back in, man. They're going to get bumped up, and I just think RKLB, and a big shout out to Ramin. I mean, we can show those stats again if you want, but it's been, obviously it's not an easy trade. I mean, I'm not in Rocket Lab or anything, but that's, knowing that this IPO is coming and there's going to be a lot of hype around it, you do get this sort of upside move here as more, money from the public markets are going to come in to the space. And there goes Rocket Labs, not SPCE, of course, Virgin Galactic. That stock's been split, and I think it has anyways, back and forth and around. So this is a little bit of a different story. But look at this name, though, from 250 all the way to $4 there on SPCE. This is what it looks like on an E-signal chart, so I can see if there's been any splits or anything like that. No. So up to, there must have been some kind of splits, but there was, yeah, this must have been, because there's a SPAC. I don't see, this says high, low, but there has to have been splits because this, I'm pretty sure it was a SPAC. Yeah, it must have gone 20 to 1. For sure 21 split, just not marked in here. Because that's...
It was a SPAC.
Yeah, because that's it there. That's it SPACing out, and then it goes all the way up. Let's just say, so these are split adjusted prices, so they're going to be accurate. Right there, $960, right? You want to see what can happen when hype falls flat on its face. I know this is different than Rocket Lab, and they're doing different things, but there goes Space, Virgin Galactic, sorry.
In Rocket Lab's defense, they have a viable business.
That's what I'm saying. So these guys actually have businesses, but if you're looking at valuation, they're all not making any money. So whether or not you have a valuable business or not, you got to turn that. You got
viable, I think.
Yeah, you got to turn some kind of profit on those names. So that's what I'm worried about. We saw Palantir finally take off once they showed some profit, and we wait for Big Bear AI to do the same thing. All right, just quickly back to Meta. I am going to stop out of half of what we have left if it breaks through 630, and then basically call it a day, man. We have less than 5% left anyways. Just wanted to talk about that in case you guys were on this trade as well. Meta trying to get going one more time here, and it looks like it's trying to get going back to the upside, bouncing off the 50-period moving average on subscription news. That's what Neil and I have talked about. I missed that Tesla. I mean, we marked it down. It's coming back in right now. Only a half hour to go. I won't take it. But this mark of 436 is what we put. Well, I mean, I saw it's $2 to go. Maybe we take it again. But we marked that down early on the note. It is the #1 trade idea on here, 436 long. It comes right into 436. I thought the sky was falling and didn't take it. You know, we just kept on averaging into Marvell, which was horrible. And then that just went out to the upside at 446 and change. So that was a mistake for me, not taking that trade. And instead, you know, we do this one, and that just kept on coming in, and eventually got stopped out right there for Marvell. The big problem with Marvell was this. It wasn't a big problem, but this is what got it started when we didn't hold some of those lows into yesterday's close around 210. Then we bought some dips and it was working. We thought, okay, we're starting to go. Then it came back in. We bought some more dips. See, like no outs yet. Good outs here, all above where we bought it. And then this move down crushed me because we went long there, got stopped out, then went long again, you know, bought it back, and then got stopped out of the last little chunk. If we didn't get that stop out, which again, bank error, we can do it back and forth both ways. If we don't get that stop out, we probably, all it has to go back is a 202, actually, math-wise. We would have been back to positive, but we don't have that on Marvell. We get stopped out there, and then it just does what it's doing now, which is not much. Here as we wait, only a half hour away. CRM, Marvell, Adara has that all out.
Oh, speaking of which.
So you guys can, call it up there.
Let's do a quick poll.
Yeah, okay, let's do a quick poll.
Actually, I had this queued up, and then we were talking about Meta at the time, which rightfully so. Custom poll, very simple. If you're in the chat, great. All you have to do is type a number. If you're not in the chat, then you need to hit the subscribe button first, get into the chat, and then type a number. And all you have to do is type a 1. What are you buying? Got to buy 1 into earnings. Marvell is 1, Salesforce is 2, Snowflake is 3. And there is no other option. If somebody else small is reporting, fine. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the big 3 tonight, which is Marvell, Salesforce, and Snowflake. And you got to buy them now. This is not which one would you buy if it's down 20% tomorrow. You don't get that benefit. So right now you're getting a lot of Marvell, which I think makes a lot of sense. Although, hey, CRM at 20%, that's not bad.
I think CRM has a good opportunity.
A little more than I would have expected. Snowflake, I can see. The chart's looking a heck of a lot better for Snowflake than it is for CRM for a bit of a bounce play. But yeah, we'll close that one up and see what the viewers think. It's about close to what I would have expected. I actually thought that Snowflake would be beating CRM. But everyone seems to like Salesforce. Salesforce has that recognition, man. Everybody knows a lot of people are familiar with Salesforce, and maybe that's what it's all about. But it has been pretty god-awful for them, if we're being honest about it. Benioff is great, but man, is nobody believing in the bounce at all. Because when the IGV started going, Salesforce tried to go. But they basically, if the bounce on the IGV was like Jaw going up for a dunk, then the bounce in Salesforce was like Brian Scalabrine. And if you know who that is, then you know how unimpressive that bounce was. And shout out to Scalabrine, the guy who played in the NBA and now went viral for whooping butts of you seen this?
No.
So he's known as the worst player, one of the worst players to ever make the NBA.
Is he?
He's people would call him that dude. He's that dude, doesn't look athletic, whatever. So people would be challenging him, I could beat this. And so as a 38-year-old out of the league for however, maybe even older than that, he just beats up on regular dudes on YouTube.
In the gym and stuff,
Because they think he's whatever. But he's still 6'9" and made the NBA.
Of course, man. The guy made more money than we can even look at in our life.
Oh, for sure. And he was I think he was on a couple of championships.
Did he win a ring? Yeah.
I think he has a ring.
Kelly Olynyk there. There's a few of them, these guys. Bill Wennington there.
Hey, man.
Rode Jordan
He's
for a
got
minute.
multiple. Luke Longley has multiple rings.
Yeah. These guys are all 7 feet tall. So to be tall and to be bold in trading is important.
Can't hurt.
We're still watching out for Meta. 6:30. We do have the imbalances coming out in just 20 minutes. I expect Meta to be a buy, but it doesn't matter. You know where my stop is already. This is what we're doing so far. I got to get rid of all these broker ones. The Nasdaq, we're not worried about anything on the Nasdaq, so I'm actually going to get rid of that. You can sort it by the source, and this is again P8 software that we have here at Real Trading. You could get rid of all of these. What just happened there? We only want New York, NASDAQ, and NYSE, so we have to get rid of that. But right now, all the New York names, so SGov is there. You want to ignore anything that's NASDAQ because you see the time there, 9:29. So, all right, FXI with a little bit of a buy imbalance there as well, and not much else going on for now. We'll have to wait to see what happens as this close is rapidly approaching here into 3:30. Marvell's still at that $200 marker. Tesla was on its way down and then stopped completely at 438. So that would have been a good area to potentially look at. The Qs are going back up right now. We're still back into that dollar club. And this was much more of a structured, easy kind of trade there. And what I mean by easy is like you have your stop. The Meta trade was easy too, just was not expecting this kind of a move. So the easiest X amount of dollars I ever made there on Meta, just because it couldn't do anything about it, just went. This one back into the level, buy, back into the level again, buy. With a quick stop, you make that kind of money, so you got to put some money to work there on those trades, and it has worked out, so good for that one. NVIDIA, we haven't talked much about. We just looked at Tesla a little bit. You guys can put it in the chat. We can go up the visualizer. MNTS maybe. Nothing's halting. STLU on the Amex maybe. Halting, I don't know what that is. And there's NVIDIA still down that 1%. We'll see if that can get going a little bit back up to the upside there for NVIDIA. Just climbing through VWAP, holding now the 200 period. I like the way that one looks. Like the cut of that jib for NVIDIA. We'll see if that gets a little bit higher there as well into the close. And then AMD, man, we all, like both Neil and I had IREN down there. That's a missed opportunity. And I hope you guys do continue to check out the note, because on here we have Tesla 436 long, Rocket Lab 146. That I took that trade. I don't think it's been back up. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't think it's been back up there, but it's been up there all afternoon. There's 146 holding out in the afternoon, so I should really relook at some of these levels. But there's me, took it, and then in and out real quick there on RKLB. Almost as soon as we got in, it came out. Makes a low of 138. That's why I don't want to hold. And then honestly, IREN, same kind of ways. There it is right here. Tesla 436. IREN 61 bucks, but that came and went. I was just saying to myself that would have liked to and wasn't here for it, but that trade right into here, holding against 59. I mean, I don't think you go long at that area. I think you go long right here where I get dropped out, and I'm not stopping out of IREN for 50-cent hit. I mean, even here, we took more than that on that trade. So that would have been, that's the misstep for me. Getting in here and getting out, I don't, you know, that's going to happen. Like I said, it happens all the time. And that time it was bank error, not in my favor also, by the way, because at that point we got out at the lows, it looks like. But that was a missed opportunity right here for me. So I think we would have had that one, and who knows how much we would have made on it. But there goes IREN straight to the upside as they get that deal with Dell. Constellation does not, and they're downside. So we've recently bought some at 300 and then again at 268 or something like that. So we have an average price probably around here. And there it goes, upside, and now right back down 4% again there for CEG. So some of the power names are good. I missed, lucky enough to get ARM down there at 201, but missed IREN at 45. Probably missed it by a couple bucks. Like I was sitting right here, and it just didn't hit. And then now it's like,
I have a new rule.
Boom.
If I ever miss a dip buy in a stock that I like, and the day of or the day after, within like 1 or 2%, I can just like grit the teeth and get it.
Yeah,
I just do it, because that's what I did for ARM. Like my bid was at $200.22. It might have been 40, whatever. It was 22 or 42. It doesn't really matter. I didn't get the fill, and so I just bought it at 204. It's like, who the heck cares, man? Like, what difference does it matter? Like, if you're day trading something, the difference between buying at 200 and 50 cents and buying at 204 is gigantic. If you're long-term investing, and I'm really just getting back into the 10% that I sold. It doesn't matter. Like that literally is not going to matter 5 to 10 years from now. It might matter to my pride, but then who gives a rat's, you know what about your pride? I'd rather have the shares. And if I have a bad price, at least I'm in. And I didn't want that thing to get to 300. I didn't get any dip buys. IREN will end up being a flat trade on that trend break. So there's the trend break. I have a rule about you don't move your stop with the trend line because that's just silly. I've seen that done before, and I distinctly, strongly disagree with it because that means the longer that you hold the trade, you're risking more. And I've seen people advocate that. And look, even if you make that top wick because it goes this prior bar break, so I'm out, even if it ends up working, the time that it doesn't work, you're just going to get burned so bad because 20 minutes from now, that same stop would be 30, 40 cents higher, and next thing you're risking $1. That's not the structure of the trade there for sure. And Blinky Spears, the reason and thank you for saying it's a solid point, but I learned that lesson the hard way. I learned that lesson big time the hard way. You'd sit there, I love stink bidding, like when you're DCAing into something and you put a bid at a price, you watch it go close, you don't get it. You're like, oh, well, it didn't fill me.
Time is Marvell.
And then like, what the heck are you doing? Like you wanted to hold that. Like and it was actually ARM that I learned this lesson on. If we're talking about, like I love the ARM IPO. I said it at the time. I'm like, don't buy the IPO price. I was telling myself, don't buy the IPO price. Allow it to come back in. And then it started coming back in, and I thought I was the smartest person in the world. I'm like, ha ha ha, I didn't buy the IPO. I'm gonna get this sucker at $40. Did it ever hit 40? No, but it bottomed out at like $46 or something. And I was probably sitting at 42. Or maybe I was sitting at 40. It doesn't even matter. I just didn't get long there, and then I was only ever a buyer in the 80s to 100s. I could have been long at $47 if I had followed that same rule. I learned it the hard way. And think of how much more money I would have made on this if I had bought 47 or 50 instead of only buying 80 to 100. That stuff matters, man. And it's so stupid over 1 or 2% when you're going to hold this stock forever. It's nonsensical. If you like the company, you buy the company, you hold the company. Simple as that. If you don't like it, then don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, time in the market is important here.
That's the quote.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, that's why, start investing early. I tell all these youngins around here, man, just get some stock now in whatever stock you like. Don't throw it away. Like I lost enough money trading weed names and whatnot, trying to catch those big trades. You don't need to do that, man. You just need to sit around, make sure that you take the right trades at the right time, and it'll just come flowing in. So that's important. And buy good names on dips. So, all right, yeah, just about this. We still now have 14 minutes left. I'm going to put an offer at 636 for Meta. So if that comes in, we'll take that fill, and that will be. It doesn't really matter how much it's in the money. That's irrelevant at this point. But that's just these levels. So, could we get a 38 print on an imbalance? Sure. I'm just going to take that and hope that we're able to sort of survive whatever winds up happening here with Meta into the close. Nothing bad could happen. We're going to offer out at 630 already. So if that breaks lower, we're going to get out of half of what we have left. The other half hopefully sits around here, and we're able to go back and forth with it. We took a shot again as well this morning on Micron. And that was decent. I mean, we were good until this was a keystroke error. I did not mean to get in and out of that one. We didn't mean to short Micron there. And so that was back and forth. And then there it goes right here. So long, wrong. So long a couple times, held a little bit there until it bled all the way down. We tried around $900 there. That's $895. And then we get stopped out almost immediately at $895. And then the low of the day, 888, triple eights. And ripped up basically since there. And there's that exact same trade again that we talked about on IREN, that I'm not here to do it, but if I am here, this is a trade that I make 10 times out of 10. Go long again against that low, and boom, there it goes. And it's one thing to do it, like these lows are one thing in here. Eventually you got to sell out because you don't have that. But once the day's opened up and now we have intraday levels, I like those a lot better than, thinking like, hey, Micron might hold yesterday's closing price, but actually it actually kind of does right there. That is $8.95 yesterday. So it actually comes within $7. And depending on, what your risk tolerance is, what kind of share size you're dealing with, maybe $7 was too much or maybe it wasn't. But we definitely took a decent hit here on Micron, trying to hold for that upside and just got out when we got out. So, you know, sometimes that winds up happening. We talked a little bit about, PayPal had a story this morning, right? Something about China. So we can get back into some China right now names, and PayPal down 1%. I think it was accepting Wii payments or something like that for PayPal. I really like PayPal stock at these levels. I sort of mentioned that before. A lot of barcoding down here around 44 bucks. We'll have to wait to see what winds up happening with PayPal. Now, underneath the 50, like I'd much rather buy it on this break right here, if we can get that 48 basically, 47 and change, break it, see if we get back up, or be super patient and wait for 52 bucks. That's obviously a good trade to make as well.
I had that quick 50 period swing. It went like 10%, and then it came right back out on the earnings. So it was kind of like a nothing burger move for people. The story today was, there was a story on it. It was yesterday.
Yep.
Oh, the story wasn't today. It was yesterday.
We talked about PayPal this morning, though.
Was it this?
There was news on PayPal today. There were a couple things. For one, CEO Enrique Lora is participating in an investor conference, and he said that, well, he said a couple things, but I think the main thing that the market first reacted to was, hey, you know, there's going to be some concerns with our branded checkout. It's not going to be too hot in Q2, but should still be fine for the rest of the fiscal year. The second thing was, I believe, a team up with Perplexity coming through. So that was the second piece. It was announced on Perplexity's blog. It's going to be through Claude and PayPal. I do believe it was Perplexity, because I know Shopify has the ChatGPT tie-up, so it's like you have to keep all these AIs in mind. But that was the PayPal news, both pieces of it from today.
Yeah, I mean, if you squint close enough, you'll sort of see it's trying to stair-step up on the weekly chart. So it's making that higher low hold. I guess don't lose $43 PayPal when you're at 43.5. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yeah, PayPal and Perplexity. We had a super chat, but I don't know if we have to do this because there's no message. So Rob, thank you for the super chat. Just a quick, easy thing. Just throw a message in there. Just say hi, or maybe the stock you're interested in, because then we can use our little fun tool as well. Oh, you did send a message?
Your thoughts on Meta?
Oh, there was one after.
On Meta calls.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Oh, by the way, Meta right here. Yeah, I just think they'll be super expensive. I think Meta's higher tomorrow. I sort of said that when it was down here, that I think it's higher tomorrow. So all we've been doing is watching this name go higher. I'm still at 636. We talked about that 636. Can we get it? Glizzy Patrol, watch out now, as those are going fired off. So here we go, 636 coming into play for Meta. I like it, Rob. I think Meta goes higher. I would just get further dated calls, because you're gonna pay a lot for Fridays or anything like that right now, or 0 day. It's too late now, but I still think Meta goes higher tomorrow. Yeah,
It's higher on the valuation too. Remember, it's a 19 forward PE on this.
Brendan, I sent this message to Brendan about it today. There goes Meta. Remember, the P is down there for a reason. But there it is, man. Meta upside. We talked about 636, and there it goes. New day's high, $26 there in the money for Meta. And then not only that, man, the TQs are also rocking. So that's just crushing it right here to the upside. So we just got another piece out on the Nasdaq. You know, high tide lifts all ships today, and that's included with the Nasdaq. But I'm just still going to continue to watch out for this one. Just one piece left. If it breaks down to 630, we got it. But Meta, nice little hold there, man. We actually were pretty disciplined. We held that for about 30 minutes there. It does not break 630. We almost had a marker to get out there, but move back there to the upside. And hey, man, you are welcome, Salvador. We really appreciate all that. Obviously, all the talk here about fantastic trades is one thing, but we're putting trades in all day. So hopefully you guys are able to make a little bit of money with us, and we go from there. But Meta, definitely a success story today.
I still think it continues to be a success story.
Yeah, sort of.
You know what? Sean just said it's at a 19p for a reason. I don't care what the reason is. We know most of it has to do with the CapEx spend and the fact that no one's thinking they're going to monetize as easily as the cloud players, right? Like the cloud guys have massive, massive growth in their cloud businesses. Well, if they found some other ways to make money, and they're also going to monetize their AI bot, and they've got people using the platform. So it's just sometimes it's easier to use the AI where you are. Like I'm picking and choosing every single day. Sometimes I'm using Gemini because I'm sitting there in a Chrome browser and it's like, oh, whatever, the Gemini key's there, so I use that. And most of the time, I think Claude is the best, but that doesn't stop me from using Gemini 50% of the time. And I think Meta's going to have that as an advantage for them. So the fact that you get them cheap gives them more legs to run. Like, why not? I just would say that you get this kind of a big time news story, as it gets digested, you want to see there might be some profit takers in the short term. You've got some overhead of resistance in the short term. What you don't have is a lack of relative value compared to the market. There's so much that's at highs that you're paying a lot for right now. You cannot make the argument that Meta is one of those things. I like this. I'm probably going to buy again, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, so it could be tomorrow or Friday. But if it's under the 200 period moving average and over the 50, that's still good enough for me. If I got a long-term stock and I like a level and it's above one of the major moving averages, then I don't see it as a huge problem. It's more conviction when it was down at $540 than is required when it's breaking out over the 50 period. Because if you really, really don't like it, you've got 600 as an out. And then if I put like 20% of what I already hold, I get the option to just be like, I can take out 20% and then just lose a small amount if I don't like that hold, like 2 weeks from now. That was the old shot when I was filling in for Sharif there. Pretend that we were sitting next to each other. I guess Joe's gone.
On now, unfortunately.
Joey gone.
Joey's out of here. Okay, yeah, look, Micron today, good story, downside. We'll wait for Marvell coming at 4. I mean, we're not going to wait for it, but 4:05. You guys can all see what's going to happen with Marvell today. There goes Micron. You know, we tried this name there. We can see what SanDisk is up, so Micron's up another 3% there today. SanDisk, wow, I cannot, I mean, I hope that we have a SanDisk moment for Marvell today, because SanDisk went down to $1,000 on their earnings and hasn't seen that since. So there it was right here. This was this day. Came back in, touched $1,000, and then just ripped off since then. So if Marvell does have sort of a moment similar to that, then we'll be able to take advantage of it and buy some dips there in Marvell. I'm looking at, we talked about this yesterday with Brian. I mentioned it even before, that this 170 would be an area to possibly get into. I think that's possible. It was only there 6 days ago. So back into 170, definitely something to look forward to buy some dips. 160 as well, maybe. And I'm not sure what Marvell is going to say, but I don't think the story's over. So if it does get hit to the downside, and you know, we saw Zscaler today as well. We saw names like CrowdStrike, you know, get hit on sort of sympathy. And actually, CrowdStrike's not back up. I actually thought it was. Had a nice move there early, and that's what I thought was going to continue up to 660. But you can see right now, CrowdStrike actually near its day's low. So that's not performing. Good thing Joe's not here. I don't want him to figure that out. He's very, very competitive, that Joe guy, and he's worried about our little game that we play. All right, 250 here as well. So Palo Alto, same kind of ways. I have much. I shouldn't say much more. I believe I have much more money invested in Palo Alto than I do in CrowdStrike, but at the end of the day, CrowdStrike's been a better performer because we first took advantage of CrowdStrike on that dip when they had all that issues there with the rollout that they should not have, the buggy rollout. Starbucks is another one of those stories that, you know, obviously love the product. It's, you know, our family just is Starbucks crazy. But, you know, that pullback into $100, let's see if it holds it. I do not love retail. We talked about that. Actually, we could check out Ruru Remen here today, LULU. Let's go see that name, because that was up today on Mr. Chip Wilson talking board members, and, you know, this guy owns 9% of the stock, and bringing on some people from bringing on a new chief marketing officer, things like that. And you could see right now, look at this, man, they're ready to break the low of the day there. So, you know, Lululemon can't get out of its own way either. We saw Walmart there getting into the teens. It was 119 or 118 maybe this morning. So there it goes again, 118. Don't really love that one. And the surprise, which is fine for me, it's stock that I own, is Target. That just keeps on going higher. So I don't know, man. I initially picked this name up, I think it was in the 80s. We tweeted it out. We can go find that tweet as well. But I liked the 3 or 4% dividend at the time and thought there was a story here to go. And there goes Target, man. Again, another name. Like, we were in Minnesota. We went to 2 Targets, and, you know, my family, again, loving Target. If there was Chick-fil-A stock, we would definitely be buying that one too. My daughter is all about Chick-fil-A. There it goes, TQQ, again, trying to be at the top, and Meta at the highs of the day now as well. So this will be fun to see where these imbalances come out.
The only thing that's interesting on the early look is Redwire. Everything else is small. CRM is 900,000 to the sell side. Nokia is 870,000 shares. Obviously, those are not huge or significant, but Redwire at 3.6 million would be another space name. Why is that still Zscaler? I didn't click that. There we go.
Taylor's Nasdaq name, isn't
No,
it?
yeah, but it was weird. Like I clicked on Redwire, but it didn't do the auto switch.
Okay.
One of the cool things about real trading is and then I click on Nokia, and then it should be Nokia. It's just a fun feature. And the only way you get features like that is you ask the broker for them. So we ask at Real Trading, we'll put a ticket in, you like it, you think there's a cool feature you want to add, then maybe it gets added to the platform. It's for traders, built for traders by traders in a certain sense. And that's one of the things we love here about Real Trading, but not a huge move going into 1 minute to go till the imbalances for Redwire. So yes, it's got a big buy imbalance. It's not reacting a ton. Based on yesterday, it had a more than $1 million imbalance and then ended up, I think it came out at or smaller. So I would look for somewhat of the same thing. FXI just popped in for about 1 million shares to the buy side. I don't know what was up with that penny stock that had a 7 million buy imbalance in the morning.
Was that even that many shares? Or what? Do you remember what it was? It's probably done like a couple 100 million shares.
Oh, okay. So this makes more sense. This is why.
Okay,
So it randomly dropped like from 10 cents to 8 cents and then caught a big buy imbalance. I guess when it dropped 20%, some people put some bids into the auction because it was moving. That's probably all that happened there. All right, so Redwire looks interesting. Obviously, maybe Meta has one. NVIDIA sometimes will have one. Doubt the earnings names will have a big one, but CRM is there for 900,000 to the sell side. Even though 21% would buy that if picking the three. Marvell, 57%. That's chalk. So yeah, smaller than expected on Redwire. NVIDIA, 1.7 to sell. Walmart, 1.4 to sell. Amazon, 1 million to sell. LUNR, 1 million to the buy side. That could be something. LUNR. I took one trend break. This is what I like about trend break trades. I know where I'm getting in, and I know where I'm getting out, so you know what you're risking, and you only take one shot at a trend break. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The Dow 30 is 640 to the sell side.
Sorry, there was an issue with the Financial Juice audio, so they only gave me the Dow and the Meg 7. I apologize, guys, if I see the others. We'll add them up there.
Yeah, the president cares about the Dow, so I guess
exactly. He loves the Dow. He loves all these markets.
No one else does.
Walmart, sell. I mean, yeah, no surprise there. We talked about that. I didn't really see anything on Meta, so we'll just wait to see how high we can fly. You know what? Let's go to 639.50, right? Just a slight move against, and we'll go. Look, if we're going to try to go $3 up, let's go $3 down, right? 632.99. We'll put that as a stop order in case that does fill out. And again, this stop, which is now $27 in the money, had about $1 or so stop to it. So big relationship there. Amazon, love the stock. I called this a vacation stock, and that was when it was under 200 bucks. Now there it is, 2.3 billion to sell. Don't tell that to the market because it's still going higher. Now Amazon, NVIDIA with the sell as well. So that got up to 213.20s, and then it pulls back. We can get some more out of the futures right now. I mean, it's at key levels. We've been getting out in the 70s anyways. So we'll offer here 71. At 30, we get it. At 355, there could be a flip again. So the flippening could happen at 355 where all these names kind of go the other way as big money comes in and turns them over. So we'll wait to see that. Apple on the the move higher here into 311. That could be a short if it ever gets to VWAP, but with only 10 minutes left, I doubt that. Tomorrow's trade today, hopefully long Meta. I feel like that's going to be a good trade. Watching out for Marvell, no idea what that's going to be like, so probably stay put.
IREN continuing.
Yeah, stay put on Marvell, and then yeah, I do like that talk there about IREN. That's for sure.
So strong.
I definitely like some IREN in my life right now.
And holding strength so well. Like, it's exactly where we left you guys at the highs. Like, it's just consolidating, bull flagging. I don't care what you want to give it. And it's into a new channel. Like, there's room to the upside. 71, 76, and it's chilling out at 67. Unless if it gaps up 15% overnight, that would be a different story. But if it's anywhere near here, you just got to really think some continuation. Like, just even better than would have expected. You might get a consolidative day. It's had that like uptrend, like 2 in a row, consolidate. Hopefully it does the 2 in a row again before it consolidates because there's a little bit more of a gap to fill on IREN, so I like that. Oh, there was that small capper, Astrotech.
Oh, ASTC, yeah, someone super chatted about that.
You know what? Whoever wrote the press release for this company, best press release ever. The headline was perfect. They basically found, let me see if I can, I sent it to Sharif because he actually hadn't read it. And I was like, how have you not read this perfect press release for these guys? And I'm just gonna throw it up for myself so I can read you guys. Astrotech shares are trading higher after the company announced it approved a strategic initiative focused on lunar resource development, autonomous lunar industrial infrastructure, future moon-based advanced computing, and semiconductor manufacturing opportunities. Let's just pigeonhole every single keyword for the algos that you can, and that was the headline. There was an actual article that went with it that, let's be real, I didn't read it. Did anybody read it? But they got 474%, and the shorts got destroyed today on ASTC. Somebody deserves a raise, whoever wrote that press.
I like that. I like who's hit. That's funny that the bell tolls there. All right, that's one of my favorites. I love hearing that, the church bells when you're outside, especially if you're in a storied place. Like when we were in Shattuck St. Mary's, there it was the same thing. They had a huge church bell. It was amazing. There, shout out to Minnesota.
Or the Taker.
Undertaker's awesome. That's for sure. Okay, so Marvell not having a good run here into the close. So, we haven't really been able to see any sort of relevance on where the market goes based on, their earnings. That's what's going to tell the story. This maybe people profit taking if they were long and they're worried about it. I've been holding on to Marvell for a minute and just going to wait to see what happens there today. Obviously, it's matured into quite a large position, but I just didn't want to get out of anything at these levels. Maybe we could get something out if this market does pop. We made brand new all-time highs today at 220 off the open. So you are down about that 10% from all-time highs. So we're going to get ready to go right now. We do have we have Cook speaking now. So I'm not sure. I just remember there was 355 there.
Weird time for
really weird time. Nasdaq trying to go back up. We do still have this trade on. The market has flipped itself over. Meta might just be an out right here. It hasn't really moved much. I'm just going to exit out of the trade. So here goes TQs coming back in. Actually, oops, I got to offer the right amount of shares, and then we'll get out. I just offered 67. Maybe we rip up and get those. Hopefully we do, and we'll be out of the TQQs. Again, small positions left here into the close. IREN, great story today. IBIT, maybe a little different. I think this could be a story tomorrow as well. I still like Bitcoin down there. I last pulled the trigger at 66. We talked about that live on the show, of course, and haven't done anything since, including not selling that. And that was up almost 20%. I went to 66, went to 80. That is 20%. So did not get anything out there. Wish we probably would have to reload a bit. And there's the out on the TQs as that trade becomes a hot dog type one as well. Look at all these outs, man. Almost perfect, spot on. We could have just not had all these outs and just waited for right now and maybe done a little bit different. But there goes TQQ. And I think Uber, you mentioned Uber earlier. It was nice to see that name up to date. And hopefully it still is. $70? Uber's hot garbage.
Yeah, but it's holding support at $70. That's about the only thing you can say about this stock. That said, look, man, I own shares of Uber, but if this flat bottom breaks, I'm probably looking short if it loses 68 anytime soon. It doesn't really make it. They're a platform. They're software. And until autonomous, the next big leap for them is autonomy. That's where they're going to be able to make some waves, and that's not where everyone's looking right now. Sorry, it is who is going to power it and who is building it, because that's where the win is going to be, and then maybe Uber gets some love down the line. It's just not yet. Being the key word for Uber. So yeah, these balances, that red wire came out as nothing. FXI, anytime we've seen the numbers on Amex, anytime you see something, look for it. Didn't really give you much of a move if you're looking at the Chinese ADRs today, unless you were looking at NEO. NEO was absolutely fantastic if you like that to the long side. But it is Marvell, it is CRM, it is Snowflake. Those are the three names that matter going into the close, and CRM selling off, Marvell was selling off. I'm not sure about Snowflake. We didn't actually pull that one up. Adara?
Well, I know I have infographics for all three of those earnings previews on X at TTV Research. Going to be reposting those here as we get the earnings coming right after the bell. So please check us out on X and TTV Research for timely pre-earnings coverage. I want to talk here, though, about Fed's Cook, because she's speaking right now, and she said, quote, inflation is clearly moving in the wrong direction. The right course of action is to hold rates steady. She said the Fed is actually prepared to raise rates if disinflation fails to appear, but they're also ready to cut rates. So basically saying they're open-minded. In the meantime, though, she thinks inflation is moving in the wrong way. She wants to hold rates. Back to you.
Rude rates, don't be rude.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no idea where we're gonna go with all the rates right now. I mean, it was back and forth.
Little higher.
They're predicting, yeah, exactly. They're predicting lower into December, I think, but the next move might be higher. So yeah, we'll just
If they end the war,
grit our
keep it
teeth and
short.
bear it, so to speak, there with the interest rates, I guess.
Gotta end the war soon. If this
That will help.
conflict extends into the third quarter, rates are going higher. Like whatever, man. Like I don't see any way around it. But the framework for a deal may or may not be happening. I don't know. How much could you trust the headline this morning?
Not at all.
No, I joke and kid because like a USO like made its bottom at 8:30. We came on at 8 o'clock, right? And then the story dropped, and then that was the actual bottom. It didn't even get back there. Now, that's how much we're respecting headlines that come out of Iran. Less than a minute to go here. Like I said, there's really nothing on the locator, so it's just CRM. It's Marvell. CRM selling off, going into the close. Marvell selling off, going into the close. Snowflake selling off, going into the close. Maybe not as bad as the other ones, but not a lot of buyers giving you some kind of early indication. But it doesn't really matter what buyers and sellers are doing. It matters what they do in about 10 minutes or so, and more importantly, what they do at 9:30 to 4. The aftermarket, it's fun to watch the price action, but unless you blow to like that expected move or some massive key levels, it's noise. And then what the big money does going into the close tomorrow is usually a better story. So we have 10 seconds left to go, so why not? You see Beta Pro up there, want to shout them out for sure, as we are now seconds away from the market being closed on this. Oh yeah, it's hump day today. On this hump day.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I didn't even realize it was Wednesday.
It's a holiday shortened week. That's why you don't remember it's a Wednesday. That's why I keep getting thrown off. I'm like, oh, you give it a couple of days and it's Friday.
Yeah,
So
it's amazing.
The 3-day rule on some of these stocks is not till next week. So yeah, Marvell, CRM, Snowflake. You guys really prefer Marvell to the point of 57% to 21 and 21. So even Stevens on CRM and Snowflake, I'm surprised. I thought Snowflake would get more juice than CRM, but do I know? And then Marvell at 57%. That makes sense. Marvell's chalk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like if we put on a Micron, everyone would say the same thing.
Exactly.
Hitting clinic tonight and skating. So multiple things. Yeah, batting cage tonight. Got to go suit shopping and skating. So life of a dad never ends.
We just got practice.
There, you just got practice.
I love
Okay,
practice.
So that's good. Yeah,
I love practice.
Practice is a lot of fun there. All right, let's see what happens with Marvell. Good luck to everybody. Good job today.
Good luck, everybody.
We'll see what winds up happening with Marvell. Good luck. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Thursday. Salesforce is out. Good luck to everybody. Ciao.